I have no idea what just happened there. It just jumped back to the wrong scene. But what's up? Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Party Chat. It is that time of the week for another episode of Party Chat. This is episode 39, and it'll be a little bit different than usual. Carl messaged me just about an hour ago, said, hey, I'm not feeling great, so he's feeling a little under the weather, so he won't be here tonight. But we got my other usual co-host. We got Ryan here joining us. What's up, Ryan? How you doing tonight?
Hey man, no, I'm kidding. I did that on purpose. No, I'm having fun. I just did Top Gun Tuesday playing Ace Combat 7. Had to replay this one mission like about 70,000 times, and I still didn't beat it, and I was going to pull my face off.
Well, hopefully we'll have a little bit better time here talking about video games rather than playing them. And then we got the guest tonight who doesn't have a whole lot of time. So we're going to kind of breeze through things. But we got Mo Zamboni joining for his return to Party Chat. What's up?
Hey buddy.
I'm glad you could be here for another episode of Party Chat. And this time it's you as the primary guest rather than with a whole bunch of other guests. So glad to have you back.
Glad to be back.
So yeah, before we get into our topics, I'd like to go around and talk about what we've been playing lately. So Mo, other than Mass Effect, which I know you haven't played, have you been playing anything lately?
I oddly enough, and I'm not this kind of
Ariel.
person. Yeah, I'm not this kind of person who's into it. I've been playing Call of Duty Warzone because it's actually been kind of fun. I've been able to fit in stuff here and there. But I actually did. I got a. It's not an issue now, but I just wanted to make sure before I started my channel. I've been playing a lot of Genesis games.
Okay, nice.
So Xenocrisis, which is a newer game, like from a few years ago, is the GOAT. And I'd only ever played it.
Wait, Xenocrisis, that's the twin stick shooter, right?
Yes.
I recently bought that on Steam, and I'm looking forward to playing it.
Oh,
I've heard it's a great because I love
it. Will chew you up and spit you out, but you'll love every minute of it. But I had a flash card, and because most of the Genesis games, aside from Virtual Racing, don't have chips. Like the Super Nintendo, there's all kinds of games that have chips that you can't like put into a SD cartridge. With Genesis, you can. So I've been playing Xenocrisis, which is awesome to play it on the original hardware because I have a Genesis too.
Xenocrisis was originally a Genesis game.
No, it was done in conjunction. So when you're playing it on Steam, it's emulating that. But I played it on my CRT in the Genesis. And it was even more amazing. And somebody did a port of Wolfenstein 3D on the Genesis without any extra chips, and it runs at like 18 frames per second. And something hits different when you're playing it on something that absolutely should not have been able to play that back in the day. So I've been geeking out on new versions of classic games. That's kind of what I've been into lately. It's been really fun.
Gotcha. Okay, I think I follow you now. So along those lines, I don't know if I mentioned this on last Party Chat, but I recently got this Retroid Pocket Flip 2, and it's an emulation device.
Ooh.
So I've got like all my old games on here from my Super Nintendo and stuff, and this thing is fantastic, and I love it so much. So I've been playing a lot of old stuff lately too, especially although it's now been like a year and a half. But my Achievement Hunter co-host, we do achievement chasers once a month, dude 1286, he's over on Rumble right now. He got me into retro achievements, so I can play all my old classic games with achievements now. So
isn't that awesome?
I love it.
Just wait till you find out about NetPlay, where you can actually do couch co-op with other people across the world.
Oh, like the old classic games like that, and play
you basically
over the internet.
Yeah.
I haven't done that yet, but I probably will at some point. So yeah, so Ryan, was there anything else that you've been playing? I know you were doing Top Gun Tuesday right before this. Anything else you want to mention?
Yeah, no, I want to pull my face off after that. So literally, I played this one mission where you have to fly into literally off the ground about, 500 to like 200 feet off the ground into sandstorms to destroy tanker trucks. You have to get all of them. And I played it 8 times. 8 times. And literally, so Ace Combat 7, great game, incredible game. Your co-pilots, they don't take out the tanker trucks, they don't take out the enemy planes that are shooting at you. You're literally flying around the map as fast as you can, low and fast, and there's a time limit. And I literally failed every single time.
Sounds like most other games where you have AI squad mates and they don't do jack squat. It's all up to you.
They used to. It's like for this one, they're like, we don't know how to fly into the sandstorm, so we're not going to. I'm like, all right, great.
Does it at least play Darude Sandstorm? That would be very nice.
I
love that
don't
song.
I don't no, it doesn't. It's awful. It's fun. I love the game, but it's so awful.
Okay. So along those lines, I not last night, the night before, Sunday night, Monday morning, I beat one of the hardest bosses I've ever fought in my entire life, and I was raging like crazy. It took me 4 hours to beat this guy, and probably somewhere between 200 and 300 attempts. So I totally get it. And that is because I've been playing through Hollow Knight, and there's this one boss that's not in the main game. He is an optional boss, the Pure Vessel. Oh my God. That was one of the most satisfying things to beat ever because it took so long. But I didn't go to bed until like 4:30 Monday morning because I was like, I'm not going to bed until I beat this bastard. So don't have all the achievements in Hollow Knight, but I have enough for now. I got the 112% completion. I've beaten 4 of the 5 Pantheons. The 5th one is just all of them back to back. And I was like, I'm not doing that. And there's a couple achievements for beating the game under like 20 hours, getting 100%, beating the game in under 10 hours, and beating the game in under 5 hours. I'm like, I'm not doing that right now. But I got like 55 out of the 63 achievements. So finally beat that. And for Carl and Canadian and I, we've got a year-long gaming challenge going on. And because this is the 3rd time I've tried to play it, the first 2 times I tried to play it, I absolutely hated it. So it was on my games. We got to pick 5 games that we don't like. And if we beat them this year, we get bonus points. So I beat my first game that on our list that I hated. Although the 3rd time around, for the most part, I enjoyed the game finally this time. But that one boss, oh my God, I've not been so pissed at a boss in a very long time. And it wouldn't be so bad. Well, I mean, he's crazy fast, which is part of the reason why it's so difficult. And most enemies only, when they do damage, they only hit you for 1, but he hits you for 2 on every single attack he has, because you only have like 10 HP essentially, and every one of his attacks hits for 2, and he moves so fast you barely have any time to heal. And there's this one attack. If it wasn't for this one attack, it would have been a lot easier, but I would dodge it literally every single time. And sometimes the dodge would work and I wouldn't take damage, and other times I would. And it was like 75% of the time I would take damage, even though I dodged it. And then other time, like the other 25%, I would, for some reason, not take damage. It was like, why is this so inconsistent? If it wasn't for that one attack, it wouldn't have been anywhere near as bad, but it was great to finally kick his ass and get him done with. So I get it. When you're having troubles with something very difficult. So, but yeah, that's the main thing I've been playing. I am going to be getting into, I think the next game I'm going to be working on here is, well, not starting from scratch. It's one that I've made little bits of pieces in progress through. And now I'm going to go back and wrap up basically the second half of the game is Layers of Fear from 2016. Although it's another one of those games that I have a pet peeve when they have another game in the same franchise that has the exact same name. They released a game called Layers of Fear like a couple of years ago, and it's in the same franchise. It has the exact same name, but there's one from 2016. There's one from like 2022. I freaking hate it when games do that. But that's probably what I'm going to be working on next. So quickly before we move into our topics, let's say hi to chat. See Sons and Shadows, as far as I can tell, was the first one. What's up, Sons and Shadows? Good to see you. And dudes over on Rumble saying Carl's not here because he's addicted to Doom. I wouldn't be surprised. But I don't think he would lie to me about that. I think he'd be upfront. Ariel Ballet is here. Hello, I haven't seen you in a while, but good to see you again. And we got Unlocking Lore. Hello, Unlocking Lore. I think I've seen your name before, but I don't think I've seen you here on my channel.
That's Maria. She's lovely. And so is Ariel. I brought them. Sorry.
Okay, well, good to see you. And Shock's here as well. So what's up, Shock? Nerd Takes. How's it going, Jay? I did see you once recently, but I haven't, like I said, I've been missing chatting with you because it's been a little while. So I will have to catch fully up on the chat on a replay because we don't have a lot of time. So with that, we'll go ahead and get into our topics for tonight. So I I did ask Mo if he had any topics, but he did not get back to me. But which is perfectly fine. You absolutely don't have to. I just like to offer the guest.
You know why I did that?
opportunity.
Because last time I was on, I gave you all my answers, and you're like, "Don't give me the answers."
Well,
So then
you
I didn't
did.
answer anything, and I
Yeah, I showed you the topics,
my
and
bad.
then you replied back with them. I didn't look at them. I was like, no, and you deleted them before I could see them. So, but I was offer the guest the opportunity to suggest a topic. If you don't want to, that's perfectly fine. So,
shucks.
I
I was playing it too safe. I was playing it unsafe, completely unsafe last year.
unless you have a topic off the top of your head, we could go with it on the fly. You got anything?
No, I've just, like I said, I've been trying to. I started a new game channel called Mo's Game Room. I actually have a lot of classic game consoles. You see a few behind me, including one of my favorites, the OG. That's probably older than me. It's a repro, but it's still older than probably a lot of people in the
I've
chat.
seen that.
Mattel Football.
Yes, I've seen it. I don't know how that thing works, but I've seen it before.
Yeah. And that's yeah, I got some other consoles back here, but I
you
have
got
like
the same DS I got, the red one.
Yep, I actually have another one just like that, but I let my kid when he was a toddler decide he wanted to test the tensile strength of the hinge. Guess what? It didn't work out. Yeah, it's a little floppy now, but yeah, no.
Sorry.
That's right. And WarioWare on the GBA is hanging out the bottom, which is one of my favorite like console, like just favorite like guilty pleasure games ever. I love those weird games, but no, I've just been new games on old consoles, man. I am just addicted with that stuff. I love playing those games, but I don't know how deep that'll go, but you know, that's one thing I love to talk about, but I'm willing to go with whatever you talk about, and if I think of something I'll let you know, but that's the only thing I've been thinking of. I've just been obsessed with my old consoles.
Okay. Well, that did give me a great topic for a future. Let me write it down here. New games on old consoles. All right, and I'll attribute that to Mo. So if we ever get to it, I'll be like, shout out to Mo, because this was an idea I got from him. When I have ideas or I get ideas from somewhere, I like to attribute where they came from. So, but all right, well, with that, we'll go ahead and get into our topics. So, someone was, I don't remember when this was, but it was just a topic that popped in my head from somewhere. And I know, Mo, you're a dad, so you got some kiddos. Maybe you were into them as I was when I was a kid. I was a huge fan of Legos.
Oh, dude. Okay. So my son, okay. Pro tip. This will explain the story after we get into it. Brickseek.com is your friend. It'll check local stock and tell you if something's in stock. We found the Ghostbusters Afterlife Ecto 1 at retail price. At Target, they had 5 in the back that they never put out on the floor and they forgot.
Nice.
So I went in and they're like, oh yeah, we got it in stock. My son built the Ecto 1, like the humongous one. And he also has tons of Star Wars ones. And he just recently built the Bugatti Chiron.
Nice.
And he did it all by himself. This kid, when he built the Ecto 1, he was like 9. And he did it all by himself in like 3 days. He built this Technic, and this thing is like this, like huge. He built it in 4 days. He spent 8 hours a day on it. And as a dad and a nerd, I was like, it's my boy.
Nice. Yeah, I love Legos. I don't have many of them here, but or maybe they're in storage. I had tons of Legos as a kid. I love them. I'm a big fan of the actual Legos. That's the only one I've gotten since I was a kid. That's the like special edition of the Slave one. But anyways, where I was going with that is there are a lot of Lego games. I haven't actually played very many of them. I think the only Lego game I've actually played was the Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy. But curious from you guys, first, have you played many of the Lego games? And then the lead into that is the actual topic of what's a franchise that doesn't have a Lego game that you would like to see a Lego game of?
Oh, I would have loved that. Okay, I'm glad you brought that one up. I really like that idea because there's a lot that have been done.
Because Lego's done the games have done a lot of different IPs, but there's a lot of ones out there that have not been done. So curious if you guys have. Mo, have you played many of the Lego games?
I have. My son loved them. Obviously, I love their tongue-in-cheek humor that they do on stuff. That's kind of like the reason you go there. It's cool as Legos, but they do like funny versions of scenes from the movie. You know, like when you're trying to get into the Jawa cruiser, it's like you're trying to pick up like things with the magnet, and you're just tearing droids up and stuff like that. It's really fun, but No, I like them. I like them for what they are. They're really fun. The Batman one looks really fun. I actually played that a little bit. The Avengers one is really fun. Like, yeah,
I have seen a bunch of the Lego movies. I just haven't played many. I did really like Lego Batman movie. That one was pretty great.
Oh, dude, yeah. When Billy D. Williams, he's like, I'm Two-Face now, or whatever. Yeah, he finally got his shot. But no, I just love the humor that comes with those games. They did a lot of franchises, including Indiana Jones and stuff like that. All three movies.
Yes,
All three movies.
All three.
The only three.
Wink,
So I would say, I don't know, man. They really covered the gambit. I guess I would have to say, I would love it. They couldn't do it because it's R-rated. I would love The Matrix, and not just because your background.
I did not even consider that, but I could totally see a Matrix Lego game. But no, it's like just because the original property is rated R doesn't necessarily mean you couldn't make a Lego game out of it.
Yeah, I would love it. And when he comes back to life and he's like, he kind of turns into Neo and he looks at the agents instead of like the code, it's like see-through green, like I don't know. I think it would be really fun. I think you could really apply it to everything. Oh, somebody in the chat says Star Trek. That would, like, old school Star Trek would be really fun.
Classic Star Trek, nice. So yeah, and dude saying that the Lord of the Rings are there Lord of the Rings Lego games? I think there are. He says, yeah, Lord of the Rings was PG-13.
Maybe
like, you can easily
I
make
think there are, yeah.
more mature franchises
Dimensions.
into
They did
Legos.
Dimensions where they had crossovers, like Back to the Future, and they had a bunch of different characters. They tried to do like a amiibo type weird thing, and it didn't quite take off. It had some cool Lego sets, but you buy it and you could scan it and it would go into the game.
Nice.
So I know that Gandalf was in there, but I don't know if Lord of the Rings was there.
Let's see here. I swear I saw. Oh, there's Lego Hobbit. I'm just looking at Xbox, so there might be stuff on other. I would assume that all the Lego games would be on like all the platforms. So I do see there's a Lego Hobbit. Oh, there is Lego Lord of the Rings. Yep, it is. So, but I see GB's in chat. He's a huge collector of Lego, so great timing to hop into chat when we're on the Lego topic. So cool. I had not even thought of the Matrix, but I love it. You could totally make that a Lego game. That'd be great. What about you, Ryan? Have you played many of the Lego games?
I have. I actually played the original two, the prequel on PS2, and the original trilogy on PlayStation 2. I played both of those games. One of the new ones that I actually played, I have not finished. I do want to restart it and play it. Is Lego Jurassic World. But in my opinion, something that should absolutely be Lego is going to be Fallout. Absolutely, it needs to be Fallout. That would be so. Fallout is already so campy, and then you put Legos into it, and it's like smash them together. It would be absolutely so much fun. I would play the out of that. So
I didn't try to predict what anybody's answers would be, but if I thought about it, I probably would have guessed Fallout since I know how big of a Fallout fan you are. But that could totally work. And dude saying like Matrix could definitely work as it's not even that far into R rating, but even if it is, it doesn't really. You can easily make it kid friendly. I mean, a lot of the R-rated movies from the 80s and 90s had kids action figures like Ariel mentioned Terminator. So yeah, like Alien and Predator, you could make any of those Lego games for sure. So and when you said that reminded me, because I'm thinking of like the recent Lego games where they make an existing property into a Lego game. I totally forgot that before they started doing that, there were just Lego games. And I had one when I was a kid, and I think I installed it because my computer at home wasn't good enough. So I took it to my mom's office because after school, I'd go to my mom's office for a couple hours because she still had to work. She was across the street from my school. So she'd pick me up at like 3 and she had to work till like 5 or 5:30. So she'd bring me to her office. And I would just go use one of the computers that was, was open, and I installed the
Yes.
Lego Island game. And there's a burglar who like steals pizzas or something. He got out of prison. You have to like go chase him down or whatever. And I think that game like broke the work computer, and so they said I couldn't install games on any of the work computers anymore. But I forgot that game existed until you mentioned it. So the Lego Island game from like 1990 something. So that was
one of the first
Lego
ones,
game.
right?
It was one of the first ones. I'm almost surprised it wasn't on a floppy disk. It was a CD game, but I forgot about that game. So that was the first one. And then other than that, I think Lego Star Wars 2 is the only one I played. But I haven't played a lot of them. But I know that they've adapted a lot of franchises and IPs, and a couple ones that I thought would make for a cool Lego game would be both are coincidentally. Both are in a very similar genre, and I didn't really like try for that to happen. I was just thinking of stuff that I was like, I would like to see that in Lego. One is Halo. I see they could probably very easily do that. Although I know Halo, there aren't Halo Legos, but there are Halo Mega Blocks. I don't know if they have like some sort of exclusive deal with Mega Blocks.
Probably, yeah.
So maybe, and I don't think Mega Blocks has any video games. But if somehow Lego was able to strike a deal with Halo, I could totally see a Halo.
I think they do
Lego game.
Pokemon. I think they have Mega Blocks does Pokemon.
Mega Blocks does Pokemon. I wouldn't know. I don't know much about Pokemon, but that could be.
I've been in a toy aisle more than I care to admit.
I will definitely take your word for it if you're saying that Pikachu, Pokemon is Mega Blocks, because I haven't been to a toy store in a very long time. But then my other one, unsurprisingly, my favorite franchise of all time, you could totally do Mass Effect in Lego as well. So, and because like I said, really the only one I played was Lego Star Wars 2. That was like the mid to late 2000s. I think that came out like 2007. And back then, the Lego characters weren't voiced. They just, you got what they were saying, like they had like gibberish language or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You could get what they're saying kind of through, body language and stuff. I think since then, some of the newer ones, they've been actually voiced. They both have their pros and cons. Like I said, I haven't played any of the ones where they're voiced, but I'm pretty sure some of the newer ones, they actually have them voiced. But I think you could definitely make some fun stuff out of Halo and Mass Effect for Lego games. So, and we got a lot of suggestions in chat, most of them from Ariel, saying Lego Muppets, Lego G.I. Joe, Lego Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Lego Minecraft, although that seems kind of redundant.
Yeah, there is a Lego Minecraft, so that is the thing.
Oh, it is?
So, yeah, they finally got that off the ground a few years ago, but yeah.
Okay. And JB says Mega Bloks has the Halo license. That's what I figured, because I was like, I've seen Mega Bloks Halo figures before.
Ooh. Lego Universal Monsters.
Lego Universal Monsters, nice. I'm not big into that stuff, but I know that a lot of people really are.
Dude, if you had a Frankenstein in the 80s or something like that, or a werewolf or a Wolfman or something, oh my goodness, can you imagine? Usually we got the dead face, like no expression, like Lego.
The Lego Mummy franchise with Brendan Fraser. That would be awesome.
Okay,
I'd play the holy out of that.
Yeah, I've only seen those movies once. I did really enjoy them. I need to go back and watch, because I know that
you do.
Those movies are like why a lot of people hold Brendan Fraser as like just like a gem in the Hollywood industry.
They want another one with him.
That's the whole thing with people don't understand The Mummy and The Matrix when they came out. That there's a reason you got your DVD players because of those two movies.
Yeah,
because they were just like they just hit way harder. There was like comedies and other movies, and you could watch it on VHS, but like DVD, I remember playing. It was the first time I got a DVD drive for my computer, and I watched The Mummy on it, and like the quality, because it was technically HD. It was on a CRT, but it was 480p or 600p or whatever it was, and it just. And I had like my Altec Lansing speakers, because I'm an old.
No, I know like the computer surround sound Altec Lansing speakers, dude,
amazing. Yeah, the bass hit hard.
Yes.
It was really cool. So when the tornado, the sandstorm was coming after everybody, like it was, you got to understand. So that would be cool. But yeah, you got especially the Matrix, because it was like the menu. People like the menu on the Matrix is so awesome. You got to get the DVD.
I think the Matrix was the first DVD I ever owned.
Yeah, it was amazing at the time though. I had that Batman 89 and The Mummy. It was a pretty good roster of movies to have on DVD, but
Yep.
yeah, The Mummy, dude, The Mummy would play perfectly on Lego. It would be so awesome.
Yes, that could I could definitely see it.
The
That would
little
be great.
one brick scarabs and stuff like that, you know.
Oh, so good.
That would be great. So Ariel's all saying Lego Mad Max, and obviously I missed it earlier, but Sons and Shadows, one of our favorite things, Lego Stargate. That would be great.
That would
Because
be interesting.
we are huge
Yeah.
fans of Stargate. I mean, that's like one of the main things he does on his channel. And they're the most recent Stargate. It's kind of good because so many of the franchises from yesteryear have just been butchered lately. So I'm kind of glad that it's kind of been left alone for the most part. For now, it is Amazon does own it, so they could do something with it. So I'm perfectly fine to leave it alone and let it rest as great as it was. There have been a couple games. There was a Stargate game that came out not too long ago, like in the last year or two. I've heard it's not great. Stargate Timekeepers. I have downloaded the demo. I haven't played it yet, but I heard it's not great. But they could definitely do a really great Stargate Lego game. Heck, I would just like a great Stargate game, not necessarily a Lego game, but I would totally be for either one of those. So, and shoot, there was something. Thank you. Ariel mentioned the third Mummy was meh. That was the one with Jet Li, the Emperor's.
Yeah,
Tomb, I
and
think.
I skipped that one.
I'm surprised you didn't say the fourth one, or are we just not acknowledging that one? With Tom Cruise.
No, that doesn't
But
exist.
I do have to give that one credit because it did spawn one of my favorite games. The Mummy Demastered is a fantastic Metroidvania. I love that game so much. It doesn't really
Count?
it's not really a movie-based game. It's just a game that kind of takes place in the same universe because it doesn't really have much of a tie to the actual movie, but the game itself is fantastic and I love it. But you can't say that until you played it. It is a great game.
I'm gonna give you the Gladiator.
You can't say that until you played it. It's fantastic.
I can't say that until I played it.
Not if you haven't played it. The Mummy Demastered is a great
It's
game.
not in the same universe, and that movie doesn't exist.
So,
that's like polishing a turd and say, "This is really great," but and I'm standing over here going,
basically,
wasn't that
thing,
poop? Like, what'd you do? What'd you pick up? What is that?
No, like if you were to play it, you probably wouldn't even know that it was tied to it. The only thing that really ties it to the movie is the main antagonist chick. Her character is in the game, but that's about it. And it's a great side-scrolling 2D 16-bit Metroidvania. It looks and plays a lot like Super Metroid. It is fantastic. So
Ooh.
I love that game so much. So if you haven't played Mummy Demastered, I highly recommend it. When we did top 5 Metroidvanias, that is in my top 5. I love that game so much. It is great. So,
are you aware that this is probably your first time on the stream, which is not, but did you know that Neo hates fun?
It had come to my attention.
Okay,
no.
All right. Just kidding,
No,
dude.
I got
kidding.
to,
I'm not going to derail it.
I got to do real life pew pews with him. That was really fun. That was fun.
That's cool.
Yeah, I got to meet this guy in Vegas. Forgot to mention that on the intro, so it was great hanging out with him.
Is there a video of that?
There is. Probably the best place is going over to Paul Hadouken's channel and watching his Vegas recap.
Talk about the Matrix. Paul, I'm not gonna get into it, but you know what I'm talking about, Neo.
I do.
Yeah.
It was his first time, so we'll give him a little bit of slack.
I'm just glad the only thing that has holes in this scene is my pegboard behind me. Oh,
yes,
right there. ABF hit that with a 50 cal on a second shot. Bullseyed my old mic because it was messed up. We brought it out to Vegas and he put it out of its misery.
Yeah, so it was great. That was at like 300 yards. It was a good distance.
It was at least 3 football fields away. It was teensy. The only reason we saw it is because it shined off the sun. It was amazing. But yeah, unfortunately, Paul Hadouken did not do the same thing to me. So,
all right. With that, we'll move on to our next topic. So, this one I've had in the backlog for a while. And I thought this would be pretty interesting. So we're talking about games that would surprise, games that you enjoyed. And if you told someone you liked this game, they would be like, really? You like that game? So I thought that'd be an interesting topic for games that you like that would surprise the people who know you. So do you guys have your answers? If you need a little bit of time, I can go first.
You can go first if you want.
All right. So these games get a lot of flack, but I've enjoyed them. The most recent one has also gotten a lot of flack. I haven't played it yet, but I will be playing it at some point. And those are the Life is Strange games. People hate on those, but I've enjoyed them all. The latest one's the only one I haven't played. All of them have been on Game Pass at one point or the other, so I'm assuming that the latest one, Double Exposure, will come to Game Pass at some point, and that's when I'll play it. But they're just like kind of like an extension of the is it Telltale that does all the the Walking Dead point and click type games?
Yeah,
I like a lot of those.
And the a couple. What's the Batman series too? Which one?
Yeah, they've done Batman.
I was gonna say that would be the one that I was gonna say. I adore The Wolf Among Us.
Wolf Among Us is another one. I played most of those games.
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future was great, and it was basically like the actual fourth movie.
It's one. Okay, so there's games that you want to try to get through, because I'm in agreement with you. That's the one where people be like, really? They're amazing because you can pick them up, you can go through it as much as you want. The storytelling is amazing. The quick time events keep it fun, but Back to the Future, I sat on the couch, my wife and I played it, make decisions and stuff like that. I would do the quick time because I was better at it. It's okay. She's over here. She when it was over, it was legitimately sad because we stretched it out as long as we could. It was like you played for a few minutes and you're like, oh, that was really fun. They're great games to kind of just get into, and it's like you're inside a comic. It's amazing. So that's my thing, is Telltale games. But anyways, Neo, go ahead. You read my mind when you said that, and I'm like, I love Telltale games.
I've played most of them. Really, the ones I haven't played because they used to do Telltale before they got known for that style of game. They did a few older games, like they did a Jurassic Park one and a Sam and Max one. I haven't played those ones, but almost all the ones, because where they really blew up was with the Walking Dead games. So all the ones since then, I played most of them. I haven't played the Game of Thrones one or the Minecraft story mode ones, but almost all the other ones I played, and I've enjoyed them all for the most part. So I like that style of game. And when people are like, what do you prefer, gameplay or story? It's like, well, depends on the game. If I had to pick, it would be, I'd rather play a game with good gameplay and crappy story. But there are games that I play just for the story. They don't really have much gameplay, and I always point to the Telltale games. I've had a lot of fun with those. But the Life is Strange games is kind of like a spiritual successor to those, because all the Telltale games are basically all in a very comic booky, cel-shaded art style, whereas the Life is Strange games, it's still not hyper realistic, but it's not so comic book looking as the Telltale games. But it's a very similar style where there's not a whole lot of gameplay. It's more of almost like a choose your own adventure. I wouldn't even really call it a point and click, because you're not really solving puzzles. It's more of just making dialogue decisions and seeing how they play out. Some of them, like you said, Back to the Future has some QTEs involved. Probably the one that was the most QTE heavy was the Guardians of the Galaxy one. That one actually had some ones where you actually needed to be good at QTEs to actually get through, whereas most of them, you just make dialogue choices, kind of see where the story goes. So the Life is Strange games, I did actually play them in chronological order, because I didn't know that the first one, which is Before the Storm, came out after the original one, which is just called Life is Strange. But Before the Storm, Life is Strange. Life is Strange 2 was probably my least favorite of them, but it was still the ending I thought was actually pretty cool, because I got what I consider the best ending, where the little brother goes kind of like Super Saiyan, and it was pretty cool on their rush across the southern border. But for the most part, 2 I didn't care for most of it. And then True Colors was, I just liked how cozy it was. And then the most recent one goes back to the characters from the original one, Life is Strange, called Double Exposure. And I haven't played that one yet, but I'm looking forward to playing it at some point. So a lot of people hate on those games. And, my most anticipated games for this year, Metroid Prime 4 and Doom Dark Age, which came out like today, essentially. And you're like, it's like, you like the Life is Strange games? I have enjoyed the Life is Strange games. So that's my answer on what's a game that you enjoy that would probably surprise the people that know you. So curious from you guys if you have any games that you enjoy. Like Shock said in chat, he loves Harvest Moon. So definitely not something I would ever play. I would never play basically any of those genre, Animal Crossing, Harvest Moon. There's a couple others, but I know that those are really very popular subgenre. And I know, like, speaking of Doom, when Doom Eternal came out, like kind of like right when COVID hit, there was the whole kind of Barbenheimer thing of Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing. And that was like a lot of people's COVID game was Animal Crossing. So mine was Doom Eternal, but yeah, I know that's a very popular one. So go ahead. Let me know if there are any games that would surprise the people that know you.
Well, I guess on top of Telltale games. Okay, so I have a stand-up arcade that I gutted out. It was water damaged, so I didn't put a working one out of it. I will not do that. I do not you do not take an arcade game out of circulation unless it's gone. It was water damaged. The bottom of it's kind of messed up, but all the insides were gone. So I put a computer in it, put some controls in it, and a recent acquisition over the last 2-3 years was a trackball. I got Golden Tee Golf on there. I will play the crap out of that game if
I've
given the
seen
chance.
that one. I've never played it.
I
I
can never afford it when it came out. I was broke. I was like, can't play. Like, I can't drop $8 in this machine. I can barely drop $8 at the bar I'm at right now. So I really enjoyed playing that and trackball bowling games like Capcom Bowling and World Tour Bowling, which was made by the same people who made Golden Tee. So I like trackball games a lot, way more than I should. Like Arkanoid. Yeah.
I've never played that with
Centipede.
the trackball, but I loved Arkanoid. That was like one of my
Dude.
first games I played. I think on like my Palm Pilot in middle school.
Oh yeah, of course. Bejeweled. Well, okay.
Never did Bejeweled.
Luminous. I could play Luminous or Puyo Puyo Tetris.
I don't know that one. I've heard of it though.
Puyo Puyo, yeah. Tetris, it's a cross of Puyo Puyo, which is like you have the globs and you got to get 4 in a row or 4 touching somehow. But yeah, I love Luminous. I love puzzle games. Tetris 99, I was addicted to that game, dude. I would play that till my eyeballs fell out of my head. You know what that was for the Switch?
I haven't played it, but I do know
against
it's
98 other
Battle
people.
Royale, right?
I never won, yeah. And you could pick who you had a few choices. You could just have it pick random, or you could say who's the weakest person on the board, and you drop a Tetris on and watch them just go. You could see everybody's screen at the same time. Tetris 99 was, dude. I'm telling you,
you can still play that, right?
I think so. I haven't played it in a while. I have a Switch, but I haven't touched it in a while.
I downloaded it on my Switch, but I never actually ended up playing.
Once I found out about it, I get so angry. I never won. I got to second place a few times, but there'll always be some guy, and he's cheating, obviously, because that's the rule. If I don't win, they're cheating.
If I don't win, you're a cheater.
Dude, it was okay. It was Tetris 99 was definitely my guilty pleasure, and I love that game.
I've heard from a lot of Tetris fans that Tetris Effect is a fantastic Tetris game. You played Tetris Effect?
Yes, a little bit, and it's just like I have a VR headset, so that one is like. I love those kind of
Tetris
games.
in VR. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, VR. Yeah, I think you can do that one. Tetris Effect. I thought so.
I don't know, but I'd totally be down for trying it if I had access to VR. All right. Dude saying if Doomslayer ever gets into Smash, they need to have Isabelle in the trailer. Well, kind of Doomslayer is in Smash Ultimate, but as a Mii costume. But yeah, so not officially. So what about you, Ryan? You got anything that you like that would surprise people that know you?
Absolutely. It's Leisure Suit Larry. No, I'm kidding. No, I had to say something weird.
I've never played any of them. I've watched James stream them, but a lot of people have a lot of reverence for those games.
Wait, somebody's actually streamed those? I've heard of the games, but I've never actually played one. So that was a joke.
It's it's typically on
Melee James played one?
Yeah, it was on the tier 2 stream where you can only see it if you're a tier 2 or higher member in the
What the
Discord.
freak? I didn't know that.
Dude, those were great games. Those were tongue-in-cheek, kind of dirty. They should show cleavage and stuff all the time.
A lot of
Uh,
innuendo.
It was a
A
point and click.
lot.
It was a point and click game, text-based games, like King's
Interesting.
Quest, but it was another quest. If you catch my drift.
Well, that's why I kind of made it a joke. No, what would actually be surprising, and this is probably going to be a little boring, is that I hate horror. I'm not a big horror genre fan. I don't like it. I don't care for it.
But you
But
love Silent Hill.
Yes, that's what I'm going for. I don't understand why. Like, I love the Silent Hill games, and I love to torture myself with them. And I've done it in the past more than once. Now, not a whole lot on stream. I need to get back into them. You know, I had them on the PS3 or whatever, and I want to get them on Steam for the most part. But one that you will definitely never ever guess that I started with basically when I was in middle school or something is actually going to be SimCity 2000.
Oh, okay.
SimCity 2000. I really love that. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You had to build your city, and quite frankly, it was just a chore and a half. And you would build a community, like a neighborhood, it'd be thriving, then all of a sudden, like and it would look like the fucking ghetto. And I have no idea why. So
I was
yeah.
good at 2000. 3000 was like it was like that's a nice police station you got there. Well, guess what? You have rampant crime. You just had a town. Now you're in San Francisco. Enjoy. Yeah.
San Francisco.
Yeah. 2000 would at least kind of like, yeah. 2000. I love playing the scenarios. I would just start riots and let it go crazy. And then I would put a river. I would do the Bane before Bane was a thing. It was just like, citizens of Sim City, the city is in your hands. And I would just block it off with no bridges, and I would put it on speed mode and watch them all die, and the riots would go away.
You'd
Then
be
I'd
like,
open.
You must find your way out. Yeah, no, I that's actually really funny because
that's like a more twisted version of when people play The Sims and they lock people in rooms with no doors or pools with no ladders. He did that with the whole city.
Never played The Sims. My sister loved The Sims though. She loves the shit. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
I never played them, but I know they were also very popular.
Has all of the physical copies of Sims 2. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with Lazy Game Reviews, LGR. I've met him.
I think I've heard that name before.
He's a huge, his name's Clint. He's a super cool dude. He actually met him at a vintage computer festival. That's my thing. I love computers, but he is a huge Sims advocate. He loves the Sims, so I had him sign my wife's copy of Sims 2, which was it was a anniversary present. That's how nerdy we are.
Nice. That's really awesome, actually.
Yeah, no, dude, she's really into it. Sims 2, Sims 3, Sims 4. You know, it's kind of it's starting to tail off, but Sims 2, dude, yeah, like those are really fun. That was one of the funnest. But Sims 2000, SimCity 2000. If you put an airport next to a high-rise commercial zone, it would always blow up the building. Because you can't do that. You can't have a skyscraper next to an airport and that.
because like the airplane was like trying to take off and also and it would just it's like,
or you could shoot down the news helicopter, which is my favorite part. You click on it and go, Mayday. Yeah.
I have a quick question, and of course the chat's talking about The Sims now. How many games are there? Because again, my sister is a big fan of The Sims. I
have no idea. I know that
there's got to be
last
more than
numbered one is Sims 4, I believe.
There's got to be more than
4. There's a lot of spin-offs, so I don't know.
So there's a ton. There's Sims 1, which had like 2 or 3 add-ons official. Had some really garbage add-ons, and then 2 had like 12. 3 had less because it wasn't as popular. 4 just is insane. They have so much crap that just nobody cares about.
That one's got tons of DLC.
Tons of DLC, yeah. But 2, I would say by far for people that love playing the games, 2 is the favorite of because you can mod the crap out of it. You can do like all kinds of crazy stuff in it. You can. My wife played a Renaissance era version of Sims with mods, where they had like chamber buckets instead of bathrooms, and like, dude, you'd have no idea how deep that community go. Like you think you know, and you don't know. It's insane.
Ariel
think I-
says 12 games.
I was gonna
would
say, I think I have
my
an
guess would be
idea. There's-
higher.
I was thinking 8, but Ariel says 12, and that means that there are people who have real problems.
Yeah, my
Like
wife has problems. Maybe because she's not she stepped away for a second, but no, she loves The Sims, dude. I actually have, I can't really fit it in here, but they're still in perfect condition. She has all the hard cases for the Sims 2. It was a fun game.
I mean, that's actually pretty incredible for a gaming franchise. I really have to be honest. I mean, I'm just joking around, right? But I never understood them. But yeah, it's one of those things that you have a gaming franchise that spans 12 games, and then of course she says, Ariel says, don't forget the ones on the console. Like, holy that's a lot.
A lot of your Sims fans would say forget the ones on the console.
I'm sure they would, yeah,
Yeah.
because it all started computer based. But yeah, no, mine's SimCity 2000. Everybody be
Nice.
like, "On really? Well, you want to build a city? Yeah, dude."
So
Ariel,
yeah, I
Ariel
played.
says all of a sudden
Oh,
we
go
see a
for it.
water bottle. It won't be a water bottle, honey. My 20th anniversary is next month. It's going to be something way more substantial. So,
See, I played all of those classic Sim. Like I said, I didn't play the Sims, but all the like building ones. I played basically all of them. I had a pack. I had the original SimCity. SimCity. I later got SimCity 2000, SimCity 3000. I was never good at them, but I liked playing them.
Yeah, I wasn't
Sim
either. I
Earth.
suck.
There was like Sim Mars, Sim Ant, Sim Tower. Sim Tower. I really love that
There
one.
was a Sim Mars.
Mm-hmm.
What the
Sim Ant
freak?
is great. You're trying to run somebody out of their house.
My favorite out of all of them, though, and I played a lot of hours. Speaking of what Mo mentioned a minute ago with the news chopper, Simcopter. I loved that one. I
I
played
have that game.
so many hours of that game.
I have a Dell laptop from 2003, and I've played it on there. And because you
So
had
was it called the Delta? Oh no, that was a Gateway 2000. Sorry, my bad.
Okay, so Gateway 2000. Remember Gateway Country, the stories?
Yeah.
I had the because I didn't have a 3DFX card yet, but I really wanted one. And they had examples in there, and I had the demo to Need for Speed 3. So I would sneak in there, install, and see if anybody would catch me. It was dude, it was so like it wasn't anything wrong with it, but I was like 17, so I thought I was like breaking the law or something.
I have a quick question. What was everybody's first computer? Because my parents, our first computer, I grew up poor, by the way, was
So
an
did I.
E-machine. Y'all remember the E-machines? I would.
Dude,
I remember them existing. Mine was a
Oh.
compact Presario running Windows 3.1.
Oh my
Fancy
goodness.
ass. Get the fuck out of here.
You
Rich
guys,
boy.
first of all, I'm about to outpour and out old all of you.
Well,
Really?
Mo is
Really?
older than both of us, but
Yes,
not
put
How old are
together.
you, dude?
No. Huh?
How old are you?
I'm gonna be 45 soon.
You look really good for 45, and that sounds a little gay, but I'm
yeah.
That's right. I'm here for
no
it.
homo, but I agree with Brian.
I'm here, come on. It's okay. No,
He's like a little bit more.
a little bit more. No, I know. I just lucky, I guess. I tell people I'm well pickled, especially if you met me in Vegas. I kind of preserved myself, but no, my first computer, I remember it because my dad's like, in 3 years we'll get a computer because we didn't have any money, and computers back in the late 80s, early 90s was just insane.
Yeah.
So I held him to it. I remembered to the day when he's like, "Oh, you remember that, huh?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So our first computer was a Tandy 1000.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't.
You ever heard of the IBM PC Junior?
Yes.
It built off that architecture. Tandy took it, they brought the rights to it, and they built it out. So a Tandy 1000, and I kid you not, it was a 4 megahertz 286. It could barely run Lemmings, but it did, and it was amazing.
Lemmings. I never
So
played
I
that, but I
had-
remember that game.
The first game I ever bought, it was from Sam's Club. I remember that, or I think it was called Sam's Club at that point, not Warehouse Club. Was Test Drive 3.
Oh, nice.
The Passion or something like that. And it was 3D, but it ran at like 2 frames a second on my computer. I didn't care. It was 3D in 91. And then I had Lemmings. I had F-29 Retaliator, which if you want,
Is that a shoot 'em up?
it is what's the best way? It's like a combat flight simulator, but it was a really good one.
Okay.
and it ran off a floppy disk. It was made by Ocean. It was one of the few that they made that
Oh,
didn't suck
Ocean.
balls. Excuse my French, because
Hey,
Ocean was known for pumping out some crap.
the only reason why I know the name Ocean because they did the Jurassic Park game on Super Nintendo. I
Which
never
that
could
one was
figure out how to
awesome.
beat it, but it was a pretty
Dude.
good game.
How awesome was that when you went into the room where it went into Doom mode, and you're like,
It went in. I
Dude,
specifically
got the chills.
avoided all of
I
the
just got the
inside
chills.
sections because it scared the crap out of me.
I just got the chills thinking about that because I didn't know. It wasn't like something that you knew unless you had read all the magazines and stuff, and we didn't get that many. I didn't have that much money. But I walked into one of the hospitals or the rooms, and the goggles, and then I'm like, in Wolfenstein, I'm like, this is working on my Super Nintendo. Like, it just blew my mind. It was like the most pleasant surprise. And then I realized they didn't have save spots in the entire game, and I'm like, well, screw this game.
That's why I never beat the game.
Yeah, nobody ever does. But F-29 Retaliator, that was one you were talking about installing games on computer. That was the one I would go when my mom was finishing college. I was like 12 years old. I would just put the disc in and it would play in the computer. I didn't install it and break anything, but well, that's not entirely true. I did delete all my dad's work files once. That was a fun night. That was a fun day.
No,
Okay.
I don't.
Word to the wise: if you ever use Tandy 1000, if you do delete, if you do like the wildcard, DEL space wildcard dot wildcard, it deletes everything, not just everything in the folder, everything. And my dad got home, let's just say, yeah.
You didn't have it backed up to the cloud?
He was like, "Who the was on the computer?"
No, he knew who it was. And that wasn't the only time. I tried to change an icon on one of his programs and it deleted everything too. It was another work computer. Yeah.
JB probably knows what you're talking about because I know JB's got us all in the age department. His first was an Apple II Plus.
I got a quick question. What was everybody's first computer game ever?
I don't know, but
Like
it
to
was
play
something
ever?
that ran on floppies.
Like ever, like if you're at a friend's house, ever.
No, I mean, as in it was given to you as a present, you know, something your parents, a friend, something like that, you know, that you played and it was physically yours and you, yeah.
Probably one of the oldest ones because I had a bunch of as I think we talked about this on the last party chat, but I had a bunch of edutainment games on floppy. But probably the one that was like an actual game was there was some F1 game I had that ran on that Windows 3.1. And it was terrible, but I remember thinking it was so cool.
Mine was Star Wars, Star Wars: The Phantom Menace.
Okay.
Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, the CD, and we had gotten our computer, I believe, in '98, and for Christmas and for my birthday, my parents got me that game, and it worked about 3/4% of the time because the graphics card in that computer could not handle. So like there would be spaces where you should be able to see through like certain things, and it would just be like a black brick.
I played that game over at my friend's house because it required. I remember my computer couldn't run it, but he had a computer because there was something about that game. It required something.
Yeah, it actually required a decent graphics card, like,
Yeah.
you know, not integrated for the most part.
So, oh, and Snap's in chat as well. What's up, Snap? Good evening to you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. So,
You know, I think JB's right. I can't remember. You got to look, dude. Okay, I'm 45. We got the computer when I was 10. All right. It's but I learned how to do QBasic on it. So I could write like you know, like simple basic commands. But yeah, no, that game could barely play 3D. Sylpheed was a game that was amazing. That ran on all kinds of computers. You remember Sylpheed? The 3D shooter? Oh my goodness. I can't believe I'm too old for you guys. You guys I'm not that old. I am that old. I'm that old.
Sylpheed?
Sylpheed. Silpheed.
Yeah, I haven't even heard of it.
It was a Japanese shooter that somehow got ported to computers, and it was amazing. It just ran like butter on just.
There is still to this day that my grandmother, she got a compact Presario.
That's what I had.
It was all black, literally the tower, and it had this game that was kind of similar to Doom, but it had worse graphics. And you ran around and you shot, like, your basic weapon was like this red blobish looking thing. It kind of looked like a chunky X, and you would just like spacebar and you would like shoot it. To this day, I don't know what that game is. I don't know if that was a game that somebody made or it was something that you could
Was it
download.
Rise of the Triad? That
I
one
don't
was
know.
fun, actually. That one was
It was literally Doom-esque, but it was a little bit lighter. But it literally had like monsters kind of the same way, but it didn't have guns for the most part. I don't know. Rise of the Triad.
I don't
Rise
know.
of the Triad was great. That was like based off the Wolfenstein 3D engine, but it looked amazing.
It would
That was
probably look similar, yes, to Wolfenstein if I had to. No, that's not it.
Yeah.
Something Caverns. There was some really awful knockoffs back in the day. Really bad.
I know. I can to this day I cannot figure out what that game was but it was so much fun. And it was just already on the computer and I was like, Grandma, I want to play a computer. And so she's like, all right, you can play a computer. I don't know what it is.
But yeah, JB, as you just mentioned, he worked on computers in that era, so he kind of knows his stuff in that department.
Oh, it's awesome. I would love to talk shop at some point, dude. I miss that computer. Now they're expensive to get your hands on because there's not many left, but I would love to have one back. Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to switch up the order a little bit because I definitely want to get to this one while we got Mo because he doesn't have a whole lot of time left. And I realized this after I sent the questions out, how I've only done this once before, and it was last time that Mo was on the channel, was on Party Chat as well. And I was like, oh, it's just coincidental.
Was that the one where I was outside?
Well, what it was is it was basically a surprise question where I was like, hey, come up with your answer, which at the time was your 3 waifus. And then I flipped the script and said, now we're going to play Marry, Bang, Kill with them. So this one is, I was like, you got to have like your favorite game of all time in mind, whether it actually is or whether it's one of your top favorites ever, because some people don't have a single favorite game of all time. So I was like, just have like your favorite game in mind. So I want to talk about this one before you got to head out here. So I said, hey, pick your favorite game of all time and I'll tell you what the question is while we're live. And so this question, I got the idea from, I think, I didn't type it up. I believe it was from a Twitter account called Gaming with Dave. And so I saw him post this a while back and I was like, oh, that's a great question for Party Chat. So shout out to you, Gaming with Dave, over on Twitter/X. This was I'm stealing his idea. So the question is your favorite game of all time. So for me, no surprise, that's Mass Effect 3. I talk about it all the time. I play it all the time. The question is, how much would it take to pay you to never play that game again for the rest of your life? I was thinking about it. I was like, so because it's my favorite game, it would have to be a high number. But for me, I've played so much of it. Maybe it wouldn't be as high as I think. Because I play Mass Effect 3 a few times a month, basically since it came out 13 years ago. So I've got a lot of time in it. So it's like, I've had my fill of it. I still want to keep playing it. So I still didn't actually come up with an exact number, but curious, have you figured out what it would be like?
Man, that's a hard one because PUBG I've probably put 4,000 hours into, but I haven't played it in a month because I've been doing video editing and production and stuff. Like I've been having fun doing other things, but I'm trying to think if there's a game that I don't know why it keeps entering my mind and not many people know about it, but it's one of my favorite Nintendo games of all freaking time. And if I didn't get to play it again, it would legitimately make me sad. And it's Super Spy Hunter by Sunsoft.
Okay.
Which banger soundtrack, amazing graphics, hard as nails, but it's so rewarding when you actually beat it. It's one of those ones I'll fire up and I'll just be like, okay, I'm going to sit here for about an hour and yell at the screen and then rage quit. But I love it. So that one.
And dude had a good question. He says, does that include remasters and remakes? Yes. I would say it would include that. So yeah, you wouldn't be able to play it, pull a loophole and be like, oh, well, this is the remastered version, so it doesn't count. Yeah, that would count. So
yeah, I know. And I know it's like when did that come out? I think it's certainly because Jamie's got me questioning everything. I thought I knew how fast my computer ran. Now I don't know. So
You said that was Super Spy Hunter, right?
Super Spy Hunter. Everybody thinks I'm saying Spy Hunter. No, the Peter Gunn theme is awesome, but Super Spy Hunter is like on a whole.
That was an NES game, right?
Amazing, but it was Sunsoft at their
Sunsoft,
prime,
yeah.
so that people made
That was
mass plus
92.
92. So it was when the Super Nintendo had just come out, but this thing could hang. There was some slowdown for sure, but the music was amazing. The boss fights were amazing. You're in a car, you could power this thing up like 5 times, and it had like Spy Hunter like things where you'd shoot the truck and you get the power ups and try to dude. It was
Spy Hunter, great game. Sorry,
super Spy Hunter.
No, I know, but I played the original
Spy Hunter. I remember I was
NES.
like the arcade. You're like, is that the Peter Gunn theme? The dun 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 dun. Yeah. So that one, I don't know. What would
Super Spy Hunter does have a retro achievement set, FYI.
Yeah, which is you did not put your controller through the window. That's a good achievement because it'll make you want to do it. It's hard on all levels. But you know what? I would say I don't know, man. I don't know how much money you would say. I would say
Ariel says 10 grand.
That's exact, dude. That was what was in my brain. I didn't even see that. I just think 10 grand. I would just think you read my mind, Ariel. That's weird. She's got the power there. That's kind of weird. But yeah, I would say 10,000.
She's very intuitive as somebody that she likes to follow around, which is me.
No, I was literally thinking 10,000. I was thinking 10,000. I wasn't looking at the chat. And no, that's it. It would make me sad if I couldn't play that game anymore. It's something that I on and off when I had the chance to play it again after I got a repro cart because you can't find them anywhere. That's not a game that many people care about, but that would legitimately make me sad if I had never could put my hands on that game again. Everything else I can kind of take or leave nowadays. That one just made me fall in love with video game music and graphics. So I could do a whole 40-minute video on gosh darn just Super Spy Hunter. That's how much I love that game.
Nice.
But yeah, 10,000.
I think I'll put that on the to play list.
Oh, dude.
Just for the record, was that the wife coughing in the background?
Did that pick up?
Yeah, I heard something. I heard.
No, she wasn't. She's sick of my crap. She's allergic to me. So,
well, as are most women that probably deal with any of us.
Well, like, especially me. Yeah. So.
Yeah. No, I feel you on that one.
I like what JB says. If you're gonna play old school hard games, keep some junk keyboards and a hammer handy.
Oh, dude. Okay, so real quick, Street Fighter 4 on the Xbox 360. Seth is the cheapest boss in the history of bosses.
I've seen that on many lists.
I curb stomped my Xbox 360 controller. I put it on the Berber carpeting of the house that we lived in. Put all 250 pounds at the time. I was pretty heavy, and I just all the front of the controller just went right into it. $45 right out the window. Never regretted it because I was so angry. I hated that game. I hated Seth so much. Whenever the startup music would start, our dog at the time, Bailey, would run away. No. Yeah, he would look behind me. His little ears would go down. He's like
that. Seth is the red and blue guy, right?
He was he's the guy that looks like the T-1000.
Okay.
Yeah, you're thinking of I don't know Street Fighter. So you're thinking of Street Fighter 3, the first 3D one, which was Street Fighter 4. Seth had everybody's moves essentially. Like he would absorb people's moves. So he had like sonic booms, which he would just spam, and then he'd have like the dragon punch, which he would spam. And all of a sudden, when he'd get down to like 5% health, he'd go on a run and just tear you a new one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is kind of who I was thinking of, but I think there's another similar looking character that I was.
No, you're right. You're right. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen him on lists of like some of the cheapest bosses ever.
Oh, he belongs there. I do not. That controller deserved it. All right. The next one I actually beat Seth with, so I think it was the controller's fault.
Hey, Crazy Landlow's here. What's up, Crazy Landlow? Good to see you. Okay, because what about you, Ryan? Do you what would be your game?
Knights of the Old Republic.
Okay, that's what I figured.
And you probably, considering the fact that when I was in the military, I played it every Christmas. While I was, because you either got to, in the military, you either got to pick to be off New Year's or Christmas, right? I always picked New Year's, and I worked the Christmas time, but at the same time, I played it from Christmas to New Year's. And every year, you're probably gonna, just for the nostalgia factor alone, you're probably gonna have to give me a couple $1,000,000 to stop playing it.
How
Be-
many
be-
times would you say you've beaten KOTOR? Ballpark.
Probably 10.
Oh, okay. Oh, it'd be more than that.
No. Well, it's a very long game, and it's back when, yes, for that game, because I didn't know it very well. I made sure that I got everything I could, and I was a little more like you. Now I'm like, I don't have time for this shit. Like, I just want to play. I want to get as much as I can possibly, and then I'm gonna go. Yeah, no, I was very dedicated and to that game, and Knights of the Old Republic 2 and stuff like that. So it was just yeah, it's probably KOTOR and a couple $1,000,000. It's
Okay.
just, it's that nostalgia factor is what probably elevated it.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, Mass Effect 3, and a lot of that is because of the multiplayer, because I just love playing that so much.
And
I've
that's
got-
what I figured when you said you play it all the time. I was like, yeah. I'm like, dude, I know you play the multiplayer all the
I
time.
haven't played the campaign in a while. I'm very much looking forward. I haven't played any of the campaigns in a while. I'm very much looking forward to playing through them all again here very soon, because I'll be doing the Legendary Edition for the first time, which unfortunately doesn't have the multiplayer.
Is it weird that, like, you can buy it on Steam, but you have to like link your Steam account to the Electronic Arts, and it's like it's is that weird?
That I have it on Xbox, so I don't know if it has the same thing. But
Yeah,
like
it's a
on
Steam
Mass Effect
thing.
3, you do, because you have to log into like their servers to authenticate in order to play the
Yeah,
multiplayer. But the Legendary Edition doesn't have multiplayer, so I don't see why you would need to sign in with an EA account.
it's Fraggle Rockin' retarded. Like, I literally tried to actually install it and like make sure the Legendary Edition on Steam worked, and they're like, please link to Electronic Arts, and I'm like, all right. So then I try to do that. This is like, I don't know, like probably a year and 12, 14 months ago, somewhere in there. But anyway, it was just, it didn't work. So I should try it again.
So I have a confession to make. I don't hate don't hate BioWare, but I have not.
Oh, I was gonna say I don't want to see your wiener, but sure.
I don't want to. You don't want to.
What? Ignore Ryan.
He's
What,
like, I don't want to either.
45 ain't good luck, my man. But
ignore what he said. What were you about to say?
I have not. I have not played KOTOR, but on a retro gaming, like there's a retro store around me. They do great work. Like, they have an amazing YouTube channel. But I have not played KOTOR, but I have the original 4-disc set, and all of them work. And I want to pop them into my 2003 Dell and give it a run, because it has a dedicated graphics card in it. I wanted to give it a run and see if I could actually play it the way that you played it back in the day. So
I have the exact same 4-disc set in a box right over there.
That's what I was trying to look for. That's why I left. But obviously,
Okay.
when I'm on camera, it means like as soon as we're off camera and I look for it, I'll find it immediately, because that's how that works. But
yeah, I could go grab it in a box right there, and that's not the reason why. But I got a USB CD drive so I can plug into my computer, because not only that, because those discs aren't actually mine. I borrowed it from a friend, and then I haven't seen them in a long time, so I still have them. But
You stole his shit.
I borrowed them, and we just didn't see each other for a really long time.
Sir, that's called stealing.
It was not intentional.
You're the guy that borrowed my video games and my movies in the military, and they never came back.
Never intentionally.
He's like, I didn't do it on purpose. We stopped talking after that, and I don't know what happened.
Splatterhouse 3 on the Genesis. Yeah, the friend of mine, him and I parted ways. It's unfortunate they got to keep a game that's over $100 now loose. So,
but anyways, this tower right here is a 75 disc tower, and it's about 75% full of my old CD games, and that's why I got this, is so I could plug it in and play them on my modern PC.
Oh, I have a Ramadex that I got like 20 years ago, which is the most amazing thing that anybody's ever invented.
I don't even know what that is.
Okay, it's downstairs. I couldn't get it.
Is it like a Rolodex for games?
Yes. So basically, you have like a list of things on it, and you have a slider, and you move it across, and it'll pick up the CD when you open it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
That's
but
kind of how this thing is because
yeah,
I can plug it in my computer and it had a software and you go and catalog what's in each tray
yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
you type in which one you want and hit eject and it'll eject the tray that you want.
Oh, okay, that's awesome. This is more manual, but it has a handle so it would lock sometimes. Uh, and you pick it up and take all your discs somewhere sometimes. Uh, I don't trust it anymore, so I pick it up from the bottom. But yeah, I have like my original Half-Life 2 installed discs on there. I got all of the Grand Theft Auto discs, and I'll probably put the KOTOR discs in there, but I backed them all up to a CD image, and they all still work. So
Nice.
they're still good to go. You got to disc rot is a thing nowadays. You got to watch out because now things are getting old. I lost Halo 2 to disc rot, which really pissed me off because the thing had
bummer.
not a scratch on it.
Oh,
Quit
that
working.
sucks.
Yeah.
So yeah, talking about that crazy Lanos. Yeah, he says I hate that games on Steam. And you need you launch your Steam and it launches another launcher in order to play the game. Rockstar,
Agreed.
EA are notorious for that. Yeah,
It's absolutely nonsensical. I'm like, okay, this doesn't make any sense, and why are we doing this? Also, at the same time, physical copies. I still have my physical copy of in my original Xbox and nice of the Old Republic. Also, the 4 disc set for the PC, and the Steam version is awful. I don't know what the hell, dude. Like I tried playing it and streaming it on Dantooine. Literally, the sunrise had like these rays that like interlapped, and it was like static, like in the rays. It was weird. Like
huh.
the sunshine is supposed to be like these rays are coming down, but it was like static, and I couldn't figure out how to fix it, so I stopped playing the game.
So I got to answer Ariel's question first of all. I'm not showing my meat for any amount of money. Sorry, I don't want to put that on the internet, but at all. But she also said, why don't you guys just build a computer that plays all the discs? Because games that were designed in a certain era, even from like 10 years ago, 20, 30, if it's in the Windows platform and it's an x86, it might be able to play it, but they're so finicky with the components. You want to have an older computer if at all possible. Yeah, GOG works most of the time,
Yeah.
but it hits different, man. When you got a CRT monitor, which I have, like if you can play it like you used to, that takes you back, man. Like playing Doom on a flat screen, okay. Playing Doom on your CRT that like you had when you're in the 90s, it's something about the experience. That's why I like playing on CRT. Plus, the reaction time is like that. It makes a difference when you're playing platformers or snap games where you have to make snap decisions and you have to have, you need that additional response time. So anyways, yeah, no, that's yeah, no, I'm a nostalgia freak. I love all the
Oh, I
older
am too, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have
Yeah, Crazy Landlord is basically saying that a lot of the games, that older games on Steam, they just ported them and they never checked to make sure that they work. And so that's where
I
GOG
know.
and GOG has like a stamp of approval on some of these games. Like this game is certified to work. So
and
shout
the
out to
weird thing
GOG
is
for good stuff like that.
if you get on Linux and you play, like if you have Proton running, it'll actually run a lot of these games without an issue on new components because it's something about the translation that it does from DOS or Windows-based games to Linux. It helps the compatibility a lot. So you can play like games like Pod, which is just a massive pain in the ass to run on anything. Runs perfectly fine in Linux. So it's pretty crazy. So
And you know what's really frustrating too is that I have three gaming computers technically. The one that and I brought this one back, right? I actually I was going to use my RTX 2070 or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, for this one, no, it didn't work for being a streaming computer. So I brought back the NVIDIA GTX 1660 Ti, and this is the one in front of you. None of them, and I have the new one, which is the RTX 40, whatever. Like none of them can play Dragon Age Origins. None of them.
A bunch of
None
people
can
are saying that in chat.
None of them can get. I'm like, what the? You got a GTX, and then you have two RTXs, a 2000 series and a 4000 series. None on Steam will play. None will
Shock
actually.
says GOG is the best way to play Dragon Age Origins.
I
on
know, but
PC.
I already bought it on, and then of course the same thing with Fallout 3. I literally contacted them, and I was like, okay, I have an RTX 4000 series graphics card. I want to play Fallout 3. It won't work. I'm like, I have never played this game. I want a refund, or you need to fix the game. And they're like, going, we cannot issue you a refund because it is older than 2 weeks old. And I'm like, yes, but I've never played the game and it doesn't work.
That sucks.
Like, it's fucking retarded. Like, fix your shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, no, but like I said, if you can run Linux, which is kind of a big ask, a lot of the games work perfectly fine through that. I don't know what they do with Proton. It's like some kind of magic thing that they do with it, and you might be able to do it through Windows. You might want to. Anyways, Fallout 3, I heard, is just a massive pain in the ass around.
I've heard it's a nightmare. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Fallout New Vegas works. I don't get that.
So
they're the same engine.
Yep, that's a good question. So one thing I want to touch on, Ariel, for some reason she did this twice. She said 10,000, but 10-0 and then the letter O. I don't know why she didn't just do 4 zeros, but
she's a giant perv. Don't listen to her.
And yeah, dude is a Linux user, so he might know. But to finish up on mine, Mass Effect 3, my favorite game of all time. To never play it again, I'd probably do it for 50 grand. I don't know if I'd do it for less because I love that game so much. So kind of a middle ground.
Lowballed the shit out of that. Like, I literally went for a couple million.
I mean, I couldn't. If someone's like, wait a minute, you had the opportunity to make 50 grand and just not play a game again. And I said, yes. Like for like 10 grand, I could say, yeah, I could still feel confident saying, yeah, I passed up on 10 grand for it. But for 50, I don't know. For 100 grand, sure, I would. 50, I would probably say, yes, I'll take 50 grand and never play Mass Effect 3 again. So, but Mo has to unfortunately leave a little bit early, but I'm glad you were able to hang out with us for an hour or so and talk some games with us. So before you go, what do you got that you want to plug before we say good night to you?
Well, first of all, it's always pleasant to nerd out. We're just talking about old computers, certainly me being old, but which isn't all that fun.
You, dude. I'm like, I'm 40, literally in like a couple months.
Yeah. Oh, you're almost well, enjoy it while you can, sir.
Wait, hold the fuck on. Is that like the next midlife kind of crisis thing? Like, I remember turning 30 and I got so drunk that I tried to run out of a car.
You know what it's like? It's like when the warranty on your car runs out or you make the final payment, everything kind of falls apart. When you hit 40, it's like all your joints quit working correctly and things hurt. So,
well, I actually had a recent experience with that because I had to buy a new car. So. Yeah. Thank you for that. Well, I'm going to be reliving it. So it's like,
yeah, you're going to be making noises when you get up and stuff like that. Yeah, enjoy.
I do it now.
But so I have Leighton Gay with the GCA coming up tomorrow. We got Leo on, or Leon.
Is that the actual title? I like it.
Leighton Gay with the GCA. Yeah.
It's GHEY though.
Yes, we
Leighton Gay.
And then during June we call it Straighten on Time because we're not playing like that. Dead serious. New intro, the whole thing.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So so we got that, and then on Thursdays on my channel, mini series, we're doing a show called StreamYard Sucks because it does.
It does suck.
And we just did Restream.
I was going to ask you about that because that's what
I really liked it.
I was using StreamYard for like the first month I started streaming. Then I went to Restream and I've been on it ever since. I have very little complaints. And I watched your Restream stream a couple days ago. I was like, yes, I'm glad that he liked it.
As a guest, I have a few complaints just for the record.
I've had more issues from the guests than from myself.
So, and as somebody who uses OBS to restream to YouTube to game, my biggest complaint with StreamYards is like, dude, really? Why can I not share a screen and it's 60
It's
FPS?
too much. To re-up for what we use for the GCA is $827.
Holy
literally every month the price tag is like astronomical.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
I was on Midnight's Edge After Dark earlier, and it just went like the output just changes for no reason. And people are like, "Well, don't have OBS on your." I don't have OBS on this computer, so that's not what the problem is. The problem is StreamYard sucks.
Yeah, I just use StreamYards. I use literal OBS as a platform to restream to do video games because it's full.
I OBS. Yeah, I use OBS. I know how to use that really well. But as far as like doing our multi-person panel, which we have a lot of people, StreamYard is just not dependable, and it stinks. And it's
You're
not
right.
worth the money. It's not worth 1/4 of the money. Anyway, so I think we're doing one stream this week. Well, I was going to do it last week, but Restream was a little cheaper. I'm basically buying the entry level, um, pricing bracket for that to get enough people to get up to 10 people. Whatever I can get 10 people with, that's what I'm going to pay for just the 1 month. And we're going to see how it works, to kick the tires and see how it works, because a lot of people have questions and a lot of the videos don't say much. It's just 10-minute trying to get into the zeitgeist and have a video people will watch. No, I'm inviting people on. We're trying to see what we can do. We're going to tax the system, see if I can do video background, see if I can do this, see if I can do that. And the one thing that we realized is Rumble Studio could be the worst thing that's ever been invented. It's really bad. But other than that, yeah, I'm on Monday Hangover with Drunk 3PO on Mondays, 6 p.m. Eastern. And we're doing Transformers, the movie from 1986. And I am sad because that movie traumatized me as a kid. So, anyways,
That's where
for-
certain individual gets right.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Is Lily still on that one? 300 Mirrors.
She is trying to get back on there. Yes. She just has scheduling conflicts. She is still part of the Monday Hangover. She'll get there. No. It's just she had a job thing, and it's just she's just gotta get there. So
yeah, no, Lily's a great person.
She's totally awesome. I love hanging out. She was
a part of my game for a long time, Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon streams. Yeah, Monday nights. Yeah.
So. No, we keep in touch, and she's in the chat. Yeah, she's good. She'll be back. She'll be back. She's not.
I just noticed she wasn't there like the last 2 times.
Oh, so. No, she hasn't been there for a while, but it's just because of scheduling conflicts. There's still, Jay says that she's going to be back. It's just on her end.
She saves lives, for the record.
She does, as does my wife. So that's why I respect her a lot. And she's really fun. The few streams I've done with her, I like her a lot. So, yeah. So anyways, so that's what I have going on.
I was going to say, regarding the platform stuff, I use for panel streams like this, I use Restream to all the platforms, but it's not that great for gaming. So I use OBS directly to YouTube.
That's what I do.
Gaming streams, but then I have Restream for all the other platforms.
I've heard that's good with the OBS if you run it through here or something like that, but I haven't tried that. It's more for just panel talk shows. That's what I'm looking at, because a lot of people are interested in that. Like, as far as video games, OBS is a great option, and then there's things beyond that. But other than that, I really appreciate you guys having me on. It's going to be a lot easier for me to stay later during the summer. It's just so I'll have a lot more free time. But I really enjoy being on here. I talked about a Tandy 1000. Being old and super Spy Hunter all in one show. So it was a pleasure being on, and I look forward to being back on soon, man. It was fun hanging out with you in Vegas, by the way.
It was great meeting
hopefully
you.
We get to hang out again.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get to hang out again, and great having you back on the show, and go play Mass Effect.
I will at one point. There's memes. Mo will play this, blah, blah, before GTA 6, blah, 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 before the return of Jesus, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's like, I will.
Before the release of Half-Life 3.
Yes.
It was good to meet you, man. I'll follow you on Twitter. It'll be LG 2076 News. So nice to meet you for the first time. So.
Oh, absolutely. It was fun, dude. We need to do this again soon.
Absolutely. Really see you, buddy.
All right, guys.
Good night, Mo.
Now I got to find out how to leave the studio. I forgot.
Top left is the back arrow.
There it is.
There's another button too. Click it, twice. That's it.
That's the one.
It's like
it is. That is. They could make that a little more clear, because every time I go to leave the studio after the stream, I almost hit go live again, because the button in the top right where you end stream is also the go live, and so.
No, I feel you. The couple of times I'm like going, hey, I got to bounce like a little bit early, like recently. And I'm like going, okay, I hit leave, right? And it's like,
how do I get out of here?
And then I'm like going, all right, guys, have a great night. Like, it's great to see you. And I hit leave. And then all of a sudden I'm still here. And I'm like, oh, I have to hit okay. Like,
it's like Neo the first time he gets plugged into the Matrix after he gets out of the Matrix. He's like, let me out of here. Let me out of here.
Yeah, it's like, literally, I'm like, okay, leave. And I'm like, okay, this. And I'm like, and like everybody's like, is this fucker gonna leave? Like, what the hell's wrong? Is he stupid? It's like, no, it's just Restream.
So, All right. Well, we still got a couple quick topics here.
Yes,
Well,
indeed.
they will be quicker since there's now only two of us. So the other topic we had on the agenda for tonight is a game. What was a game that did not live up to the hype for you? So got lots of accolades and praise. People that you know talked about it, said all these sorts of good things. You're like, all right, I'll give it a shot, and then you ended up not liking it. So I have a few answers. So
I have
if
one main one, and I'll
all
let
right.
you go first.
All right, I'll go first then to talk about the. So the first one that came to mind was because I think I talk about it. I don't want to say every party chat, but I do mention it a lot. How I'm not a big fan of the GTA games and Rockstar's games in general. Not that they're bad, I just don't care for them. So because back when GTA 4 came out, and what was it like 2007?
Yeah, I think that what 5 was 2014.
All right, let's see here.
Good lord!
GTA 4 was 2008, so I was very close. And then, yeah,
Wait,
GTA
wait, wait,
5 has
wait.
been on 3 separate console generations.
What the freak, Ariel? Next topic. When were you guys playing? What the hell does that mean? Naughty games. I don't. They talk about like Leisure Suit Larry or something like that.
And
You can't play it on YouTube. There's boobs.
GTA 5 came out in 2013, so it's been 12 years. And
2013. Okay, just for the record, the police add-on, which was done by independent creators, by the way, is incredible. I want to.
that's how GTA originally started, was a cop game, and they're
Yeah.
like it because of like a glitch in the programming.
Yeah.
The cops were like chasing after him. They're like, actually, this is even more fun than what we had planned for the game,
Yep.
and then they
Yeah.
made that the game. So
Yeah, that's why you get like what is it, LSAFPD or something like that. I can't remember. No, worse, even more worse. What the hell, Ariel? Easy, Lenny.
anyways, GTA 4 came out, and it was
Neil's like, no.
now you're derailing the stream intentionally.
No, I'm not. I'm sorry. I brought Ariel with me, and if you've never experienced her, it's different.
Oh, and Christian was in chat. What's up, Christian? Good to see you tonight, as always, buddy. But anyways, GTA was like the hot new thing off the. I don't know how much time was in between GTA 3 and GTA 4, but like I had no interest in playing GTA, but because everyone would not shut up about GTA 4, it was all anybody was ever talking about. It's the greatest game of all time. It's the greatest thing since the coming of Christ. I was like, all right, fine. I'll play it. I played it. I probably put 150 hours into it because I'm a completionist. I'll play it even if I don't like it to try to get as many of the achievements as possible. I did not get the completion because there are some ridiculously hard achievements in the multiplayer, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm pretty sure I got all of the achievements you can do without playing the multiplayer, but I didn't hate it. I just didn't enjoy it. It was for the most part boring. The only part of the game that I actually like had fun was the bank heist mission. Other than that, the rest of the game was pretty forgettable. I did not have a lot of fun with it, and that's probably the biggest reason why I don't like GTA. Is I played GTA 4, and everyone was like, "This is the greatest thing ever," and I'm like, I didn't like it. I thought it was pretty boring. I did play a little bit of GTA 5, and it was just, to me, it just felt more of the same. I was like, yeah, I'm not interested in this. So that was the first thing that came to mind when I brought up this topic was GTA 4 did not live up to the hype for me at all. So I'm curious
I have
for
two.
you.
I have two.
How about you do one, and then I'll do another one, and then you do another one.
Okay, this is the first one I'm going to pick because I
real quickly, Crazy Landlord's coming in. GTA 3 was in 2001. So what I say, GTA 4 was 2008. So the 7-year gap. So that's pretty decent. 6 years. 2004 was San Andreas, which is the best GTA game. That's what I've heard. So, all right, go for it.
Dragon Age 2. I despised it. I hated the way they changed the combat. I hated the way that the mechanics worked. I hated the way the map worked. It was just awful all the way around. The story was good, but the game and the gameplay was just something that literally I wanted to stick my finger in a wall socket. And I was going to say something else, by the way, DICK. I despised that game when it came out. I'm like, I have to play this. one of my favorite literally one of my favorite, the sequel to one of my favorite games of all time, and I have to play this garbage. And they're like, you're going to, and you're gonna do it. And I'm like, yes, thank you, shock. Dragon Age 2 was garbage.
I've heard that.
Awful.
I never played the Dragon Age games. I always wanted to because they're BioWare and I love BioWare. I just never got around to them because I'm a sci-fi over fantasy.
It
But I've
was a
heard from most
giant
people
bag
that
of
2 was pretty
ass in the
terrible.
butthole.
I have heard that Origins, which I believe is the first one, everyone pretty much that's universally
It
loved.
was one of the most incredible RPGs ever made,
And then
along with Knights of the Old Republic.
because then the other after 2 was Inquisition, right? I heard that one
Yeah,
was kind of mediocre.
it
Not
was
bad.
better. It was better, but it took the mechanics of 2 and it adapted them and made them a little bit better. But then again, I played Inquisition and I was like, I kind of want to pull my face off because what the are you doing? And
So you weren't a fan
so
of Inquisition either.
no, Dragon Age Origins is by far one of the best RPGs of all time. I don't think it needed a sequel. I think the DLCs you got were probably pretty damn good. To be in a sequel, you probably spent a good, I don't know, 12 to 15 hours, depending on what you did. But Dragon Age 2 was such a bag of ass that, quite frankly, I would rather lick the floor than play that game. Sorry, I so
Don't
extreme.
apologize.
Ugh, it's so gross. I hate that game.
All right. And what were your thoughts on the latest one, Veilguard?
I did not play it.
I figured.
I do know somebody who did play it. And she liked probably the first, I think, 8 hours. I think she said 8 hours. And then after that, she's like, it was like going from one game, 8 to 10 hours, somewhere in there. She was like, I was playing one game, and then all of a sudden, it was a completely different game, and she's like, I don't know what the fuck happened, and then all of a sudden, I don't want to play it anymore, because when it transitioned at that period, it
No
was
pun
like,
intended.
yeah, no, not intended, and it was like, wait, what the hell am I playing? Like this is not even the same game, and of course, that's when we found out, obviously mid game they switched and it got a little bit funky. If however you want to put it, shit, weird, woke, garbage, quite frankly, all of the above. So, and that's somebody who's a massive gamer. That's somebody who's a massive gamer who loves the original Dragon Age. I think she even actually really she enjoyed 2 and Inquisition. I did not. That's my opinion. But it was like saying, okay, like this seems familiar, and then at the 10-hour mark, like, what in the blue hell am I playing?
Yeah, I get it. I don't have high hopes for it, but it doesn't matter how bad the next Mass Effect is. I'm going to play it regardless. So I get it. I'm hoping it's not bad, but I don't have high hopes.
Did you play Andromeda?
100% of that.
You
all
did. Okay, shout out. I own the game for the PS4. I've never played it.
I'm an Andromeda defender, and I put that in air quotes because I thought, and I defend it in that it's not as bad as everyone said. It's not great, but I don't think it deserved as much hate as it got. It's a perfectly competent game. I didn't play it till a year after it had come out, so I didn't experience really any bugs or anything. So on a performance standpoint, it played fine. The combat is great. It's got great gameplay. It's just the story and the characters were all very lacking. But the gameplay is good, and it's a very competent game. It's just very mediocre in so many aspects. So that's why I say I'm a defender. Not that it's great, just not as bad as everyone said it was.
I bought it roughly like 4 or 5 years after it came out on the PS4. I have not played it, but I figured probably after the fact, it's probably been modded to, it's been updated to hell, so it's going to be a lot better. So I also bought Rogue Squadron or whatever that.
Oh, the recent one.
Yeah, that Patty Jenkins one or something like that. I bought that. Still haven't played that. It was on
'Cause
PS4. What's
Rogue
up, D-Day? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up, DD at Wolf? Good to see you. Ed GAB says Neo is a huge Mass Effect fan. Yes, that's my favorite
Wait,
franchise of
are
all
you
time.
sure? It's like-
But just to make sure we're on the same page, because Rogue Squadron was the N64 game, Rogue Leader was the sequel. That
Right.
was a GameCube game. The recent one from EA is Star Wars. Oh, I just blanked on it. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. The recent one came
yeah,
out
the
a
one
couple
on
years ago.
PS4. Yeah,
Um,
wasn't received well, by the way.
shoot, I just blanked on it. Star Wars Squadrons. That's what it was. Squadrons.
Squadrons. Thank you. I do have to ask though, because you are a massive massive Mass Effect fan. So the original game, Ashley or Caden?
Ashley.
Okay. Original romance for the first game. Ashley, Talia,
Tally.
sorry, and
Tally.
or Liara. Thank you. Sorry, it's been a while.
So the first time I played it, my romance was Tally.
Okay.
Who, if Carl was here, that's his favorite Mass Effect waifu. So, but my number one Mass Effect waifu came in Mass Effect 2, and that is Miranda Lawson.
Okay. So overall, from the trilogy, because I kind of only include the trilogy, who is Commander Shepard's ultimate romance that he actually should be with throughout the games to end up with?
It depends on each person who plays it.
No, I'm asking you. Not each person. I'm asking you.
That is a really good question.
Maybe
Yeah,
maybe it'd be easier. Who do you think has, as a romance option, has the best story arc by the completion of the third game?
I would say Ashley.
Yes, sir. I was just asking because that's who I always picked. I picked Ashley, then Miranda, then Ashley. I never understood Liara or Tali, but that's just me.
I like them all, but yeah,
No, I do too.
to answer that question, I would definitely say Ashley. So,
Okay.
and yeah, JB makes the point that I often make is he says, a perfectly adequate game when it's compared to, the games that came before when they're like top notch, top tier, and the sequel is just adequate, makes it look very bad in comparison. And I use the term, I don't remember who I heard this from or where I saw it, but it was in someone live chat one time. I saw someone say this, and I've stolen it and I use it all the time. I use it frequently, and I call that the Mandalorian effect. When something is like so good, or sorry, when things around it are so bad that something that's just adequate makes it look just top tier just because everything around it is so bad. It's not that it is really good, just that everything around it's so bad it makes it look better. I call that the Mandalorian effect.
Okay.
So basically what JB is saying. So
Yeah,
it wasn't that bad, but it just compared to how good the first three are, it's like, oh, this game sucks. It's like, it doesn't suck. It's just nowhere near to the same level.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, even on top of that too. So like the first game was really, really good. The second game, incredible. That's an incredible fucking game. The third game, I think it was really good. But if I had to rate really good on a scale of 1 to 8, I think the first game was an 8. And I think the third game would probably be somewhere in the neighborhood of like, and I know this might be a little controversial, probably a 7. I really enjoyed the third game. I really liked the story. Where I got a little grumpy about it is that you had to like put all these teams together, which made sense. But the problem is though is that they're like, oh, there are these hidden things you need to find, and if you don't find them, then like your player score is too low to defeat the Reapers.
Oh, you're talking about the galactic readiness.
Yeah, the galactic readiness, and I was like, that's just retarded. I'm like,
that was this point of contention for a lot of people when the game came out.
Yeah,
it's not required to beat the game, but it is required if you want to get a better ending. And because you can do it without touching the multiplayer. That's probably the easiest way, though.
Oh, I didn't know there's Well, and you know what's really weird too is that I actually thought that the basically the conversion was actually the best ending. But the
Oh, the
thing is that
synthesis, the green one.
yeah, because the thing is
That's
though
what
is
I
that
did on my first playthrough.
that's what I did too, because you did the Buffy the Vampire Slayer like dive into the thing, and it was in my opinion, I still think that's probably the canonical one, right? Because and a lot
I've
of
heard a
people
lot of
did.
people say it's the Destroy the Reapers is the canonical ending,
Yeah,
but it's
no,
up
I
to
know.
each person.
Yeah,
There's
no,
no.
and I argue that one because the thing is though is that you kill these friends that you have made over these I don't know what a better part of a decade or some shit like that. And I argue with that is because quite frankly that the Reapers go away, and at the same time you sacrifice yourself and your friends get to live. And they're like going, "Oh, well, that's the indoctrination ending." I'm like, nobody says that's the indoctrination ending. You weirdos say that's the indoctrination ending, and that's where I was like so irritated for so long. They're like, we're what the hell is the one called? Like
The Destroy, the Control, and
yeah, the
Synthesis.
renegade, the
Oh,
renegade ending.
Renegade and Paragon.
Yeah, the renegade ending was the only one that was actually the one that worked. I'm like, that's horse shit. I'm like, that doesn't work. Not everybody lives happily ever after. As the massive hero of the franchise, Synthesis is the only one that makes sense because you die, you sacrifice yourself, you're this giant hero character, but everybody else gets to live happily ever after. That's what makes sense.
Yes, I
And
agree.
then they had to add to it, and I was like, no, 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 no. I will give them this though. When they added it to it, it actually added your actual romance character that you picked in the final flashback or like the flashes of your life before you, to where the previous one did not. I think it just had Liar standard. And then of course when they actually remodded it to the romance partner that you had throughout the games, you could pick Ashley or whatever. So I think that was a good add, but no, synthesis. I can't say it now. It's the only one that makes sense. So I'm thirsty.
I agree. But yeah, when it came to the galactic readiness, if you didn't want to do it, you basically had to do absolutely everything in the game in order to get the best ending. And you don't have to touch the multiplayer. But if you did, then one thing that's nice is how it worked is for each of the 6 character classes, you can get each one to level 20, and then you can promote them, and that'll add 20 points to your galactic readiness score. So because I've done that so many, I literally can't. Even if I did absolutely nothing and I just went through the game and beat it, I would have the best ending anyways because I have so many points just from that alone. But you didn't have to
Yeah,
do that in order to get the best ending.
never
You did
played the
everything in the
multiplayer.
campaign, but I love the multiplayer. So, but D-Day says Liar was his first and Miranda's his fave. Nice, I like it. You always romance Miranda, but she's just a side piece. Yeah, I wish that her romance was a little bit more in the third one, but she's not. She's a side character in the third one, so you don't really get to see her that much. I was a little
Yeah,
bummed about that.
going forward after realizing how the franchise ended, I actually the second time playing through the second game, I didn't romance her because all right, and this is gonna sound like super gay. I'm so I can't play Knights of the Old Republic, and I can't hurt the NPC pixels, right? The characters like they need your help, and it's like you steal from them, blah blah blah. I can't do it. So like the next time I played it around, I didn't romance Miranda because I didn't want that awful confrontation with Ashley. And then of course in the second game, and of course the one with Miranda in the third game. And I was like, because I didn't want to hurt the computer game pixels.
I get it. No, I get it.
So it's like,
When I did a Renegade playthrough, because I've done like the first time I played each
I
Mass
could
Effect.
never do it. Couldn't do it.
The first time I played each Mass Effect, I did a mixture of Paragon and Renegade, whatever I felt was right at the time. The second time I played it, I did pure Paragon regardless. I was like, I'm always picking the Paragon option no matter what. The third playthrough, I did the all Renegade option no matter what. That was some of the hardest video game decisions I've ever done in my life. I'm like,
Couldn't do
I
it.
know what's going to happen and I feel terrible about it, but I'm committed to doing this Renegade playthrough and I just feel so bad. So I get it.
Yeah, no, I couldn't do it. So like even playing Knights of the Old Republic, like my character by literally before the end of the game, like I had literally had like that light stream behind you. It was like, oh, like the giant column of Halo. And even in Mass Effect, like I would every once in a while do a renegade, knowing that would help advance the story, but it wouldn't hurt the character in a way that, like, quite frankly, was I'd feel like a piece of shit. But I did mostly Paragon. But I think one of the big ones, and this for a lot of people, right, is that when it comes to Rex and in the first game, you have to mostly do a renegade option because it's easier than the Paragon one to get him to not go psycho. So yeah,
There's I think there's 3 ways to save him, and the
yeah,
first time I played through, I didn't because I didn't know this yet. I was just playing through it, and I didn't have any way to save him. I replayed that segment, like I reloaded my save like 8 times, making every single possible dialogue decision to try and save him, and none of them worked because
no,
I later found out there's certain way you either have to have a high enough charm or a high enough intimidate, or the third option is there's one specific quest where you have to go find like the family armor, and it pops up on some random planet out in the galaxy.
yeah,
And if you've done that quest, then you can save him regardless of your charm or intimidate. But if you haven't done that quest, the only
yep,
way to save him is if you have to have a high enough charm or high enough intimidate. And I didn't have high enough in either. So
yeah.
that
So
that sucked.
yep, the second time I played the game, I literally had to make sure I had enough base. So it's intimidate, or of course in the second game it's called renegade, to basically get him to that level. And then of course you basically like, will you punch him in the face or something like that, and then yeah, you basically disarm him. But Ariel asked, did you guys enjoy all the Fable games? I've only played half the first game. I
I've
have it
only
on.
played Fable 2.
I've played. I'm sorry, excuse me. I have it on Steam. I want to play those. I need to get there, but I gotta finish Ace Combat 7. Tomorrow is I have to play Dustborn. I
You don't
tried.
have to.
I tried to play it last week. I literally tried to play it last week, and I was like, I don't play it.
Understandable.
I did YouTube videos instead. I'm like, going, this is more fun. Like I have tried to play Dustborn. It is so bad, and I think I'm maybe 3.5 hours in out of an 8-hour game, 10-hour game.
That's funny.
I just want to.
But yeah, Errol asks, is there an option to destroy not the Reaper, so the Reaper wipe everyone out? No, that is not an option.
I mean, there kind of is if you side with the elusive man, because the Reapers ultimately do wipe everybody out, right?
Well, I
Everybody,
guess there is because like the game presents you with 3 choices. There's
yeah,
actually 5 different endings. The other
yep.
2 are the same. And one of them is where you shoot the Star Child, and then he gets pissed off, and then he just lets the Reapers
Oh,
wipe everyone out. So or the other one that you can do is, and I found this one by accident, is you just stand there and don't make any decision, and then the Crucible will get destroyed, and then the Reapers wipe everyone out. So
okay.
it's not really a decision. It's just because the first time I did it, I was like, I don't know which one to choose, and your character is like so beat up, he's stumbling and he walks so incredibly slow.
Oh, it's
So
awful.
I was trying to walk
He's
to,
like,
yeah, he's like hobbling, and it takes like freaking 5 minutes to go like 10 feet. And so I was trying to go to all 3 stations to figure out which one I wanted. And because it took so long, then the game, like the Reapers destroyed the station and I lost. So it reloaded my last checkpoint. But I accidentally discovered that ending because you could take too long. It's
the
all
very
because
first.
Shepard's walking too slow.
Yeah, the very first time I ever actually played it, it was actually so I bought it before this happened. I had to have a major surgery, right? This is back when in 2013ish, there was a bunch of like MRSA going around or something like that. I was working at the post office, so handled everything that was nasty and gross under the sun, other than money, which is dirtier than the mail. Got a massive infection, had to have a surgery, had to have a skin
Ooh.
graft. Anyway, long story short, my mom had to fly, which from Colorado, which is where I live now. She had to fly to Florida to take care of me because there was nobody there to take care of me. and the VA hospital couldn't get me a nurse to at a home nurse, which is not live in, but an at home, like they check on you like every day
Mm-hmm.
for like the first couple of weeks. So anyway, I've had this massive surgery. I'm just all sorts of tore up. I'm on antibiotics. I'm on all these kind of things. Anyway, so the first time that I can play a video game and actually do something, and so I'm like, I start playing this game, and I finished the game, right? And the actual ending credits where I did synthesis, jumping in, she's like, and the music is very somber and very sad and stuff like that. And my mom was like, I don't know, she was like doing something in the kitchen, and she's like, "What the heck? What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm playing a video game." And she comes and walks out, and she sees like, dun, dun, like just the music, like you falling into the pit, and she's like. And then, of course, it pans over to like Earth, where they're the soldiers fighting like the Reapers and stuff like that, and it's just the music and people are dying and stuff like that. And she's like, "This is a video game," and I'm like, "Yeah," and she's like, "This is a really somber video game," and I'm like, "Well, it's the end of a 3 video game arc," and she's like, "That's really depressing." I'm like, "You're not wrong." Like,
it depending on your ending, it can be a very bittersweet.
yeah,
I remember that on my first one. I'm like, it's all over, so it's great, but Shepard's dead, and so are a lot of people. So
yeah, and I still kind of like allude to the fact that even the Renegade ending, Shepard, you might see a hand pop up, but does he live? You don't see him live.
yeah, it's
And everyone's like, "No, he lived. Like, oh, he was fine." Like, dude, he got mowed down. He got mowed down by Harbinger. Mowed down.
It's like
Do you think he wasn't fried from head to toe?
it's like the ending of Inception. It's like, was it real or was it not?
Yeah, and that's kind of like the way I allude to it. That's why I think that the synthesis ending is probably the most canonical, because everybody lives happily ever after because of what you did. But now we're getting a 5th game, and I don't know where the freak they're going with this.
Yeah. So, real quickly, Ariel says, weird. She likes KOTOR and Dragon Age, but didn't care for Mass Effect. Maybe you didn't play Mass Effect long enough. That is correct. You did not play it long enough.
Yeah, you didn't play it long enough. So the first game has a couple of pitfalls that I don't like. First off, there are way too many Fraggle Rocking game mods, ammo mods, like everything under the sun. Like it's one of those things that like
inventory management was one of my biggest gripes of the first game.
Yeah, you don't pull your face off. And then of course the lock picking, the hold on, like beam 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 beam. Oh fuck! Oh.
Just use Omni Gel. You don't.
Yeah, that's what I did the whole entire game. So you just use Omni Gel. But the first game is really, really good. The second game is fucking phenomenal. And then I think overall for a trilogy of video games, it might be one of the best ever done. Literally one of the best ever done.
So, and D-Day says, I played a ton of the multiplayer. Dude, we got to play. Speaking of that, next Monday will be this month's Mass Effect Monday. So if anyone wants to join me for Mass Effect multiplayer, let me know. I'll be doing that next Monday.
If I can figure out how to get it to work, right? Steam, EA, is the multiplayer like cross-platform?
No, I have it on Xbox, which is backwards compatible, so you can play it on a 360 and Xbox One or a Series X. I also have the Steam version, so I can play it on either. There is a PS3 version, but I don't have a PS3, so I'm not able to play that one. But I can play Steam or Xbox.
I have 2 of them, but they're in storage.
So, but yeah. And then let's see here. Ariel asked if you ever played A Way Out. I have not, but I will be very soon. Carl and I were supposed to start playing that on Sunday night, and he's like, "Sorry, dude, I'm playing Doom." I was like, "I get it." So,
what the hell is A Way Out?
It's do you know the name Joseph Ferris?
No.
Do you know the recent game that just came out this year, Split Fiction?
Yes.
So, his studio, Hazelight, is basically known for making these like fantastic co-op only games. Like you cannot play it by yourself. You have to play it with someone else, and you solve puzzles together. So Split Fiction is the most recent one. Carl and I played it. It was phenomenal. I was on Carl's channel last week and we talked about it for like an hour and a half. It was a great game. The one before that was It Takes Two, which I haven't played that one yet either, but I will be. And the one before that was A Way Out, where you and your cellmate are trying to escape prison. So I'll be playing. We're going to start with that one, and then after we do that one, we'll probably do It Takes Two. The game that really put him on the map, though, although it was before Hazelight existed, was Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, which is a phenomenal game.
The last co-op game that I actually played, was the Resistance games.
Okay.
Do you remember those? Yeah,
I have not played them since they were PlayStation. I never had
PlayStation. Yeah, no, those were a lot of fun. If you played with a friend, those were a lot of fun. You could play them single, but you could play them with a friend. Those were a lot of fun. So I haven't played anything like that since then. God,
yeah,
that was
these
like
games
2010.
These games are like co-op to their core. It's not like it's a single player game and you can throw someone else in to play with you. Like how Halo and Gears co-op is like the game doesn't change. It's just the single player campaign with more people. This game is designed from the ground up. You have to play it with two people, and you each get certain abilities and stuff that you need each other in order to get through it. So I'm looking forward to playing the rest of his games.
I had a former friend. She told me about It Takes Two, and she was like, "Oh, we need to play it. We need to play it," and stuff like that. And this is a friend that like she fell on hard times and fell off a bad situation is the better way to put it. And she like lived with me, and she's like, "We're gonna play it. I'm gonna buy the game and stuff like that." And then she ended up moving out. And we never played the game, so. It was something like, if you got somebody next to you, great. But I don't know. I'm just usually play video games by myself.
Yeah, I normally do, but I often say, like, co-op is my favorite. I love co-op. That's one of the reasons why I like the Mass Effect multiplayer so much, because it's not PvP, it's PvE. So you and friends versus the AI.
Yeah.
So, and glad Ariel says A Way Out is awesome, excellent, because I've heard of basically those three games from Hazelight, A Way Out, It Takes Two, and Split Fiction. I've heard that A Way Out is the most, I don't know if controversial is the right word, but the one that seems to get the least amount of praise. So I'm still looking forward to playing it, but I'm glad to hear that you liked it. So, but all right. So back on topic after we went on a long Mass Effect tangent. My other game, or I actually have two more, but the one that
shit, I forgot what the hell I was
talking about games that didn't live up to the hype.
What was the first one I said? Oh, it was Dragon Age 2. Okay.
Yes, Dragon Age 2.
Okay, I know what the other one was.
Was there anything else you want to say about Dragon Age 2?
No. As for Ariel's question in the Wolfenstein trilogy, the new ones I thought were very good, but they're kind of like add-ons to Castle Wolfenstein, right?
I played Old Blood and New Order, but I have not played New Colossus. Or the most recent one.
Very, very good games. Are they as good as Mass Effect? I don't think so, but they're if the Mass Effect trilogy is a 9.8, I would say the Wolfenstein trilogy, the new ones, are probably somewhere in the neighborhood of an 8.5.
Yeah, trilogy, because I haven't played a New Colossus, but I've heard it's really good.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll play it, but the one I absolutely am not going to play is Youngbloods, because I heard that one was
terrible. That doesn't exist.
Exactly. So, but anyways, back on topic on games that didn't live up to the hype for you. So GTA 4, that was a long time ago. I have two that are very recent, within this year. So yeah, Ariel also stay away from Youngbloods. Yeah, that was the plan. So I don't really know how many people have probably even heard of this game, but in my Xbox community, everyone was praising the crap out of this game. They said it was so amazing. It was great. They loved it. So I was like, all right, fine, I'll go ahead and play it. And I didn't hate it, but I really, really, really did not enjoy it. And that is Death's Door. Have you even heard of this game?
No, I have not.
So it's basically like, the closest thing I could relate it to would be the 2D Zeldas. It's kind of like an isometric, not exactly top down, but it's got the isometric view at kind of an angle. And you're this bird, you're a crow, and you're a reaper, and so you reap souls. And it wasn't terribly long, so that was fortunate. It basically had like 3 dungeons. But everyone's just saying like this game is so amazing. And
I think I saw the gameplay for that, but I forgot. I didn't. I had forgot the name.
Yeah, so it looks like a better looking, older 2D Zelda game, a lot more smooth, better graphics. But yeah, you're a crow, and your job is to reap the souls of these characters whose their time has come, but they're refusing to go into the afterlife. So it's your job to go and kill them and reap their souls. So, but yeah, I really did not enjoy this game that much. I did not get the completion before it left Game Pass because there's one achievement in the game for beating the entire game with the umbrella,
Mhm.
which is a huge handicap. So you could do all the achievements in a single playthrough, but everyone's like, play through the game once regularly and then do a second playthrough where you do the umbrella achievement. That's the only achievement I don't have. So I got 100% in the game on my standard playthrough. But even on the standard playthrough, it was still quite difficult. And the reason why they say leave the umbrella for the second playthrough is because you're more familiar with the game. What the umbrella does is it does half damage of all the other weapons. So it's basically hard mode. So if you wanted to, you could do it all in one playthrough. But everyone's like, don't do that. Do it on second playthrough. But just playing through on normal when I had all my buffs and everything that I could do, because it shows up like at the very beginning of the game. It's easy to miss. The first time I played through it, I went into it knowing that I need to use the umbrella, and I got through like a couple hours of the game. I'm like, okay, when does the umbrella show up? And I found out that it was at the very beginning of the game, and I would have to go and replay the entire like first couple hours I played. So, like, I'm not doing that. So I was like, I'll go ahead and play through it, and then I'll do a second playthrough with the umbrella. And it has kind of one of my pet peeves, I guess would be the closest thing to say, is on games where you don't have like a health bar, you have like health notches. So you only start out with 4 HP essentially. Like I was talking about, is Hollow Knight is the same way, where you start out with 5 HP, where you have little mash, and you can extend that. If you collect,
Oh yeah.
if you collect all of the mass shards, 4 mass shards give you another point of HP. I think the most you can get is to 11. There are charms you can equip that extend that. I think for one of the fights, I equipped all of the extra health charms. I had like 20 of them. But it wasn't as bad for Hollow Knight because you start out with more and you can get a lot more. Death's Door, you only start out with 4, and even after you get all of the collectibles that increase your health, the max you can get is 6. So you start out with not very much, and you can't extend it very much farther. And same thing for your mana. You have I think you start out with 3 mana in order to cast your spells, and you can increase that, I think, to 5. Just like the health, you collect 4 of them, and that adds 1 more to your bar. So even when you're maxed out, you have 6 health and 4, maybe 5, magic points essentially. And the combat was pretty difficult. So I trudged through it. I got all the achievements I could, and I was like, all right, second playthrough. I was like, I'm not even going to bother with it because I did not enjoy the game so much. I'm not going to go through it even more difficult using the stupid umbrella to get half damage. So everyone in my Xbox community was loving Death's Door, and I really did not like it a lot. So, and that says a lot because it was I panic played it before it left Game Pass, and I could have gone through again and gotten that achievement because, like I said, it's not a terribly long game. You could probably beat it in like 5 or 6 hours. And I was like, I don't even want to. So it's one of those games that's going to be on my gamer tag forever, incomplete with 1 achievement left, and it's going to drive me nuts. But I disliked it that much. So I was like, I'm not even going to bother with it. So
You know that your achievement chasing is basically my Dustborn. You understand that, right? Like
well,
I don't want to do it, but I feel like I need to finish it. You're talking about this game like
I I get what you're saying, but even without that achievement, I still did not enjoy the game. So
I mean, yeah, that's literally what I'm saying. Like I have not enjoyed Dustborn one bit, not one single second. And I'm like, I really should finish it because I was like, I'm gonna play it. It's awful, and I want to see how awful it is, and I want to see why. And everybody's like, oh, why do you want to play this? Like, why do you do this to yourself? And it's like, I don't know. And it's kind of the same thing with what you just talked
it's
about.
very similar, very similar. It wasn't a bad game. I just really did not like it. And if any of my guys in the Xbox community heard me bad mouthing it, they'd probably all disown me because they loved it so much. I'm like, I don't get it. I did not enjoy this game almost at all. So, but I know you said you had one more.
Yeah.
So I still have one more that I'll briefly mention. But if you got another one, go for it.
Well, this might make people a little bit grumpy. It's from one of my favorite franchises, Fallout 4.
Oh, okay.
Fallout 4. I was allured by a brand new Fallout game. I bought it. I started playing it. I was like, okay, I'm having fun. I'm having fun. And the more it went, I was like, this is less fun. I don't like this. And it wasn't just like another settlement needs your help. That was a big part of it.
I've
But
I've put a couple of hours into Fallout 4. I will be playing it in its entirety at some point. I didn't dislike it, but it didn't hook me like Fallout 3 did. But from what I hear, everyone from the kind of the general consensus was, especially coming off of Fallout New Vegas, which everyone says is the best one. Fallout
yep,
4 was a big letdown from what I hear.
yep, yes. So they went back to so they went from Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, which had realistic weird real world guns and mods, to Fallout 4, which was like they took schematics of somewhat real world guns, kind of, and they put a weird spin on it. And I did so like so what the hell is like the assault rifle is basically a play off of a World War gun. It's like it's like a tube, and it's got like the nozzle out the lower nozzle. That's basically that was basically an infantry machine gun on a platform. You're not going to walk around with it like this. It's not an
Okay.
M4. It's not a rifle. It's literally something that's so fucking huge that it's literally the size, probably half my body length or more, and it sits on a tripod, and you're like, that's what it is. And so like I literally had to look up what these guns are based off of, and I named them in the game after what their real counterpart that they ripped off. And I was like, Bethesda, you cheap son of bitches. Like you had like these real guns, like real stuff, like 357 Magnum, these real world ammo and stuff like that, 9mm, like stuff that was literally that I go, I've seen that in a movie, I've seen that in a television show. That's a real world firearm. And then they went to this fake ass crap. And I was like, all right, you lost me. I'm so out. And then the mods got fucking ridiculous. And and then the story, it and I was excited too, because I was like, all right, you can actually romance a companion, like that's great. You're adding some layers of story. You're getting a little more. Like, I just think the game mechanics were shit. They're trash. I didn't. It was a massive letdown. Do I hate the game? No, absolutely not. But is it my least favorite Fallout game? By far, yes. And I'm gonna say this: Fallout 76 carried over a good chunk of that. However, they did find some medium to where you could actually find real world counterparts that actually did fit into the game. Real world mods to take like a hunting rifle, and you could turn it basically into this, Barrett 50 caliber. Or it looked like that, right? But it
I
still had
fired one
like,
of those in Vegas.
yeah. Yeah, no, I saw
I
that.
got the
That
shell
one,
casing
yeah.
right
You and
there.
Paul. Yeah.
Right there.
But you're talking. It just I felt like they didn't want to pay for like maybe the licensing to use these certain firearms or something like that. And it was just, to me, it was lazy. It felt lazy, like, and I'm like, you didn't. So like Fallout 3 skewed very far from 1 and 2, right? But then again, you're talking about like isometric on the top. Like these are games from the early 90s, like, and then all of a sudden you came out with these games that are first person, and it's like, it's fine, RPGs. But you made 3 in New Vegas so similar. And then you had 4, which was very similar, but also drastically different.
The same, but
And it's
different.
like, yes, it was like, remember how you love Fallout, right? The gameplay, all that kind of stuff. And it's like going, yeah, we changed a whole lot of this. And you're like, I don't understand. Why did you do
I
that?
like
Like,
that.
because because three in New Vegas, like, right, you could put power armor on, you just had to have the perk. You had to have the strength. In Fallout 4, Fallout 76, all of a sudden there are power cores. They're individual parts. That didn't bother me as much, but it just, you took it and you're like, And then the mechanics too. They're like, oh, you have to hydrate. And I'm like, bitch, I don't want to fucking hydrate. Who the fuck? Really?
That was only in survival
I don't
mode
know.
though, right? Because that was something they added after the fact.
Well, yeah, it was something that they added actually initially. I believe it was survival mode in 4, and then they added to it to 76, and then they had to reverse it and make it survival mode only in 76. It was a hot mess. So Neo was getting edgy. What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know what he's
why are there
referring
cat
to.
faces? The fuck, Shock? Why are there cat faces?
But Direwolf must just not be a fan of Bethesda because it says Doom, Fallout, and Elder Scrolls games all didn't live up to the hype. All published by Bethesda.
I think he was talking about maybe because I read that and I was like, okay, wait, is he talking about like they didn't live up to the hype, or maybe there's some of his favorite gaming franchises like trilogies, because all of them have
Oh, that could
trilogies,
be
right?
too.
I think he was going with trilogies because Doom 1, Doom 2, Doom 3, Fallout 1, 2, 3, Elder Scrolls 1, 2, 3, Morrowind was
That
3.
could be. And
I mean, just clarification. I
and
don't
he
know.
said
He
also
can clarify.
GTA besides San Andreas. Oh, so but okay. Um, all right. So then my last one. Sorry, dude. You probably knew it was coming. I also just finished this earlier this year, and I was actually this one is a little different in that like people hyped the game up. You know, it's a lot of people's favorite. I knew from the beginning I wasn't gonna like it. But I trudged through it, and for the most part, there were I did it all on stream. There were segments that were not bad, but overall, I did not care for it. Although I did like it the second time I played through it much, but that's because I knew the game much more and I could just burn through it a lot faster. That was Dark Souls. I love hack and slashes, but Dark Souls and me are not on speaking terms. Definitely not something I want to go back and play, but we will again because January 15th is official Dude Souls Day because that's the day I finally beat Dark Souls. So I will be playing again. And I'm not planning on playing Dark Souls 2 or 3, but it is up to the chat. Essentially, if someone gifts me, they got to be in order, but I've said that if anyone gifts me Dark Souls 2 on Xbox, I will do that one. And then if someone gives me Dark Souls 3, I will do that one as well. And we'll continue Dude Souls. But I was not a huge fan of Dark Souls because it is not my type of hack and slash. After I was done with Dark Souls, I went and played my favorite hack and slash as a palate cleanser. That was Ninja Gaiden. And I did that, finish that off a few weeks ago. And it's funny because right after that, dude also played Ninja Gaiden, but he had never played it before. And he is like, he loves Dark Souls, but he does not like Ninja Gaiden. And I love Ninja Gaiden and did not like Dark Souls. So it's kind of funny, the juxtaposition between the two of us. Yeah, I was not a fan of Dark Souls. I do not want to play 2 or 3. They are also on my hate list. So if I do play them this year, I'll get bonus points for Carl and Canadian's Eye Challenge. But I'm not going to play them unless someone gifts them to me. My guess would probably be from Paul because he likes to see me suffer. So if someone gives them to me, we will continue Dude Souls, but I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Both Dark Souls 2 and 3 were 50% off until yesterday for the last couple weeks. So I'm glad no one gifted them to me. So I'm probably safe until maybe next time they're on sale. So, but yeah, so that is my other game that didn't live up to the hype, although those ones I wasn't really anticipating, or Dark Souls I wasn't really anticipating liking. And there were some streams that I was like, yeah, that wasn't too bad, but overall I did not care for it. But the other games, everyone's talking about it. I'm like, hey, I might like this. And then I ended up playing it, I didn't like them. So Dark Souls is a little bit different. So yeah, D-Day is saying, yeah, those were games that didn't live up to the hype. Okay, I thought so. So I was right. You did like Dark Souls despite the prepare to die overblown difficulty cringe. People may talked those games up to be difficult as F. Like Biatch, I played Ninja Gaiden. Yeah, I'd say Ninja Gaiden is much more difficult because in Dark Souls, if you want, you could go grind out your level and just collect souls and level up your gear and stuff. You can't do that in Ninja Gaiden. You just have to get good because there is no gear, there's no stats. You can upgrade your weapons, which unlock more combos, but that's it. Dark Souls is an RPG as well, so you've got all these stats and you can level up and increase your skills and certain abilities. You can make your weapons stronger, you can make your armor stronger. You can't do that in Ninja Gaiden. So I think Ninja Gaiden is far more difficult than Dark Souls. And another thing is I'm just not a fan of how slow paced it is. I like the more fast paced, action packed action that Ninja Gaiden is. So, all right. Let's see here. So, with that, will bring us to our final topic for tonight. Hopefully, Ryan will be back here in just a moment. But as usual, we talk about our favorite games from whatever the next year in the cycle is. And last episode, we talked about 2004. So tonight, we're talking about our favorite games from 2005. And speaking of, that just flowed in quite nicely because the original Xbox version of Ninja Gaiden that came out in 2004, which I forgot to mention last episode when we were talking about favorite games in 2004. But Ninja Gaiden Black came out a year later in 2005, and it was basically everything Ninja Gaiden had plus more. So it's the definitive version of Ninja Gaiden on the original Xbox. So that was, let's see here. Let me look at my list of all the games that I really loved from that year. Yeah, Ninja Gaiden Black because I've ranked it in my on the Fuse Gaming Community app. Shout out to Fuse. It gives you a spot to rank your top 10 games of all time, and I think Ninja Gaiden Black is my number 3. So I love that game. So it is absolutely my favorite game from 2005. I do have a number of other games from 2005 that I really liked as well. But I'll go ahead and let Ryan go with any of his if he's got any favorite games from 2005.
So yeah, I actually do. The main one, and this is going to be something that like people are like going, really? And it's like, well, if I heard a boop, it's a weird. Oh, that was you. Okay, I was like, oh shit, what did I do? I hit some. Yeah. So the main one I'm going to pick is going to be Gran Turismo 4.
Oh, okay.
And I come from a car family. We turn wrenches. We've always made cars faster. We like fast cars. So Gran Turismo, ever since the first one, has been a massive thing where I have loved those games. Now it was a lot more fun, I think, on the third one when you can actually is it the second or third
I
one?
don't know almost
You can
anything about
actually
Gran Turismo because that was a PlayStation exclusive, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was. So that was absolutely my number one was Gran Turismo because it was like the real driving simulator. They took car specs. They took the specs of all these kind of cars, all these kind of add-ons you could actually put to cars. Air intakes, exhaust, turbos, transmissions. It was a free for all, and it was so much fun. And I know that sounds nerdy as like just geeky nerdy. Um, but yeah, it was a lot of fun, and that's going to be my number one. I don't know if I really have a number two. I'd have to pull the list back up. I think I saw like maybe one.
Okay, 'cause I've got a few
Yeah,
others. So if you've
here.
got any other favorites from 2005, by all means.
Oh,
I was just gonna say, since you were a fan of racing games, I was like, you know what? Because at some point we're gonna do a top 5 episode of racing games, and I was like, let me add you to it. It's like, oh, I already added you to it because I think we talked about that before. So whenever we do a top 5
Yep.
racing games, I got you on the list. So I'll let you know.
Yes, sir.
But, yeah, I like racing games
Yeah,
as well.
go ahead, man.
Me being an Xbox guy, my racing franchise was Forza. Until it screwed me over, which we talked about on Party Chat not that long ago on why I swore Forza off for the rest of my life, essentially. It was a great game, but
Yeah.
But yeah, so hands down, my favorite game 2005 is Ninja Gaiden Black. It's one of my top favorite games of all time. DJ Direwolf, yeah, same he loves it too. I know how much he loves it. So yeah, Alma destroys your giant health bar. Alma Awakened is even worse. And Crazy Land Low is saying he probably has low standards. His favorite from 2005 was Shadow the Hedgehog. Nice. I know a lot of people do like that. I'm not. I've barely played any of the Sonic games. It just wasn't my thing. So, but I know people like it.
Never was a Sega family. We were basically Nintendo all the way across the board. So had the original NES, and then of course the first thing we had after that, basically Christmas. Literally, it was the Nintendo 64, and it was 2006. So yeah, it's been pretty much that.
But since you mentioned racing, I do have a racing game on here that I absolutely love from 2005. More on the arcade side, but Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Yes, that was my second.
I love that game. That is Hands down, my favorite Need for Speed game. Absolutely, no doubt about it. I haven't played that many of the Need for Speed games. I probably played like 4 or 5 of them, but of the ones I've played, Most Wanted is definitely my favorite.
I think Underground 2 is mine. Most Wanted, I would say, is probably the second, and then Underground, the first one.
I didn't play
There
Underground,
was another one.
so
There was another one after that on the PS3. What the
I
hell was
think
it
I played
called?
all of no, I didn't. I was gonna say I played all the Need for Speeds on 360, but I didn't because there was like Need for Speed Shift, which I never played.
I played the majority of them actually on the PC, if you believe that. I started on the PS2 with Underground, and then I think Underground 2 I got it on the PC because I'm in the military, and then Most Wanted the PC. But I love those games. They're so much fun, and they're literally if you want to live the Fast and the Furious experience, those games took it to the next level, and it was So that is probably really close to being number one. The reason that I like the Gran Turismo is because it was you actually had cheat codes you could use, and you could mod every car, and that's what I like to do. I'd like to mod every car and see how fast it would go. And then you could like mess with the transmissions and stuff like that. So it got like really nerdy, and that's why I called it. But like, Need for Speed.
Yeah, Shock's with
So
me. He
good.
says Most Wanted is goat symbol or goat emoji. So I'm assuming he's a big fan of that one, and he also loved the Sonic
Yeah.
or the Shadow game. But yeah, so looking at it, haven't actually played as many as I thought, but I played Most Wanted, I played Carbon, I played Undercover, Pro Street.
Undercover. That was the PS3
Okay.
one. Sorry, didn't mean to yell.
Because when we were talking about it, I think it was on an episode of Party Chat. We were talking about Need for Speed games, and when someone mentioned
Yes.
Underground, I thought I was thinking of Undercover, but I was thinking it was Underground, and I looked it up. I'm like, oh wait, I never played Underground. I played Undercover,
Yeah.
and the Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, not the original one back like on PS1, but the Hot Pursuit that was on 360. Because, like I said earlier, they took the exact same name as another game in their franchise, and they called it the exact same thing.
And they revamped it.
So I played all those ones, but yeah, Most Wanted is definitely my favorite. I don't know where it falls in the grand scheme of all my favorite racing games, but it's got to be up there because I really enjoyed Most Wanted, and it introduced me to what became one of my favorite cars for a long time because I didn't know the car existed until I got it in Most Wanted, the Porsche Carrera GT. I love that car so much. I didn't even know it existed until I played that game.
That's the one that Paul Walker died in.
Yeah, was it
Yeah, it was a Carrera GT.
The one thing that it was when BD Jake was on for Open Mic. We were talking about the movie Redline. Have you ever seen Redline?
Mm-hmm. No, I don't.
it's
Yeah,
like kind of
not a long time.
Cheesier Fast and Furious knockoff, but it's the one thing I really liked about it is because in the Fast and Furious movies, or at least the early ones, all the cars are basically like souped up, regular cars that you see on the street every day, like Honda Civics and stuff. Redline, all the cars they use are, like the Bugattis, the Lamborghinis, the Ferraris, the cars you don't really see very often. And one of the cars they had in it was, two of them was the Ferrari Enzo, which was also one of my favorite cars ever. And Eddie Griffin destroyed one in the filming of the movie, which BD Jake's a big car guy as well. It hurts both our souls because he crashed it in the filming of the movie, and that's a very rare car. I think they only made like 400 or 450 of them.
Do you like Top Gear?
I've never watched Top Gear, so I probably would like it, but because I love cars. But I've never seen Top Gear. Well, I think I've seen like 1 or 2 episodes.
Would you like to come on a Sunday
and watch Top Gear
and watch an episode of Top Gear, kind of like we did with How I Met Your Mother?
Weekends are usually pretty difficult for me, but this summer I could probably make that work at some point. So if you do Top Gear
I'll invite you on.
I will definitely join you for that.
Yeah, it's on. It's Sunday basically. It's basically 4 p.m. Pacific and 7 p.m. Eastern.
Okay,
so
I'll let you know.
We watch one episode. It's just one episode, doesn't need to be long. But so basically, we're on there for like maybe an hour tops. But it's it's old school British Top Gear, which is Jeremy Clarkson, James May, Richard Hammond. That is some of the best motoring television you will ever see. And if you love cars, you gotta watch it because they go from supercars to like economy cars that are in, and they do wild shit with it. It's so
So
much
I'll
fun.
let you know when I'll have an available Sunday, and I would definitely be down to join you for that.
Okay.
Um, oh, but yeah, so they Eddie Griffiths crashed a Ferrari Enzo during the filming of the movie, which was painful because that was not intended. And then the thing that really hurts is they intentionally destroyed an actual Carrera GT for the filming of the movie. They didn't use a prop; they used the actual car. And they destroyed it. They threw it off a cliff and watched it tumble down, so they could put that as a scene in the movie. It's like, why would you do that to such a beautiful car? Use a prop, but no, they destroyed the real thing. So,
Because it was donated and it was good
I have
advertisement.
no
And
idea.
Porsche's like, let's
But
go. It's
I
like,
like that movie. I've watched it in a long time, but I do enjoy that movie, even though it's cheesy. But it's got lots of really nice cars in it. So that's the movie Red Line.
did you like the Need for Speed movie?
I saw it once. I didn't think it was bad.
I actually really liked it because they took the new Shelby GT500 Mustang across the country, and I think the story was actually pretty
I
solid.
vaguely
It
remember
also
anything about the
had
movie, but I do remember that I didn't think it was bad. I enjoyed it.
also Michael Keaton was the big time racing podcaster who actually covered the illegal event because it was illegal. So
I don't even remember him being in it. I
it's a
remember
fun
Aaron Paul
movie.
being in it, but that's about it.
Yeah, y'all should probably
And
actually watch it. It actually is
I
a
remember
good fun
that,
movie.
and I think the car he was driving at the end was a Koenigsegg.
Yeah, it was a Koenigsegg.
Okay, so that's about all I remember from that movie. But other than I remember that I enjoyed it. Part.
But the reason it was that is because no, I'm not going to tell you. Never mind.
Spoilers?
If you're going to rewatch the movie, I don't want to tell you. It's plot point.
Okay.
Koenigsegg.
So, all right. Let's see here. A couple other games from 2005 that I really, really love. Underrated. Definitely one of up there when you're talking about movie-based games. Star Wars Episode 3 game was really good. And that was 2005. And then talking about another movie-based game. I'm not going to say that it was great, but it was a lot better than the one that preceded it. And that was Matrix Path of Neo. It's the one game I own on original Xbox that I can't play because it's not backwards compatible.
The Matrix Reloaded was so much fun. I had that
Matrix
game.
Reloaded is the movie. Are you talking about the Path the game that came out before Path of Neo? That was Enter the Matrix.
On the PS2. Enter the Matrix. Thank you.
I had that one as well, but
that game
I liked Path of Neo much better.
That game was so much fun, and that's the only one I played. It was on the PlayStation 2, and I don't know what happened to the copy.
I still have my
I really don't.
my copies because I had it on PC are in this tower right here, so I still got my discs.
Yeah, I really want to figure out how to get an emulator going so I can just start playing all these games, but there's different anyway, long story short.
Shocks, those are fighting words. The Episode 3 game is even better than the movie. So
I would disagree because in the game you can actually you can change the ending.
I love that alternate ending where you win as Anakin. That was great.
No, that's bullshit. That's bullshit.
I love just the alternate what if sort of scenarios. Because they did the same thing in both Force Unleashed 1 and 2 in the DLC. There's kind of this alternate timeline where Luke turned to the dark side in Empire, and they kind of carry that through. And I really liked seeing that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I've never liked the what ifs ever. Like it's sour grapes to me. Like going, oh well, maybe let's explore this, and it's like no. And I think the what ifs kind of the past are the original shitting on and changing beloved characters. And I think it's what led to, current what's going on. Just me personally, that's my opinion. It could be very
Fair
wrong.
enough.
I don't know.
And then
I'm wrong all the
last
time,
one on here is the best Splinter Cell game. Chaos Theory also came out in 2005, and my discs for that are also in this tower. So,
Good God, sir! No, I've never played the Splinter Cell games. I hated them. I hate stealth
we
games. I want to play the Metal Gear Solid games, but it's gonna be like
uh,
pulling teeth because I'm awful at stealth.
I love Splinter Cell. I love stealth games. Our last episode of Top 5 last week was Dead Franchise. We want to see revived, and Splinter Cell, I think, was my
Yep.
number 3. But
Okay.
I did enjoy all of them, but Chaos Theory, and that's not just me. Like most people consider Chaos Theory to be the best one in the franchise, and I agree. I enjoyed all of them.
Okay.
Some people hate the newer ones because they kind of went not away from stealth, but they went more of an action third-person shooter kind of vibe to them rather than the stealth aspect of the first 3. I've liked them all, but Chaos Theory is definitely the best one. And I'm looking forward to playing through because I haven't played the first 3 in a very long time. They're on my list of games to replay, so I'm looking forward to playing through those again. So those are my favorite games from 2005. Need for Speed Most Wanted, Star Wars Episode 3, Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, Matrix Path of Neo, and number 1, Ninja Gaiden Black. So, and Shock says, yeah, the game had deleted scenes where you fight. Well, from the movie where you fight Mace Windu. That is true. So,
Yep.
All right. Any other thoughts on games from 2005?
No, maybe an honor, a mention. Prince of Persia. The second game was fun.
2005.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. I thought I saw it on the list.
There was a 2008. That was the cell shaded one. I played that one, but I thought the last one before that was many years prior. But I don't know much about the Prince of Persia franchise.
It is Prince of Persia: Two Thrones is a 2005 action adventure game. And it's on the platform PS2, GameCube, Microsoft, Windows, Xbox, mobile. Really mobile. All right. PlayStation Portable, PlayStation 3, so everything
on basically everything. Okay. I didn't realize that came out.
It was released on December 1st, 2005, in the North America. So
right at the end of the year.
Sorry, I'm like reading down the line.
Definitely counts.
I love old games that they re-release on different platforms, and you have to hold on, wait.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Where's the
look
one
up
that
a
I
game
know?
that I know came out like 20 years ago, and it's like released like 2018. I'm like, wait, what? And they go and look into it. It's like it was re-released on mobile in 2018. Originally came out like 2003. It's like, come on, give me the original release, not the re-release.
Yeah, pretty much. So.
All right. Well, with that, we will wrap it up here for tonight's episode of Party Chat, sort of with Mo Zamboni. Shout out to him. He was a great dude and always fun to hang out with.
And no Carl. God damn it,
always
Carl.
fun to hang out with Mo, both in person and on stream. So I look forward to chatting with him again. Yeah. Carl wasn't feeling too great, so missed having him here tonight. So maybe I'll ask him some of these questions on the next episode to find out what his answers are. So, because I'm basically going to be on a bit of a summer hiatus because I got lots of stuff going on. There will be one more party chat, and then we might not have another party chat till like the end of July. So,
damn, we do another hiatus.
Got some busy stuff going on this summer. I'll be going over it in depth next Thursday on my open mic. But I'll let you know like what my schedule's looking like for party chat and stuff.
That kind of bums me out, man. Like I really enjoy this show.
Me too.
It's like, no, I get it, real life and stuff like that. But like, damn, dude, like shit. I remember the last hiatus. I was like, all right. It's like
so. Yeah, we'll have one more party chat, and we got 2 more top 5s, but I will talk about that in just a second. So, Ryan, what do you got going on over on your channel in the meantime?
I'm gonna try to play Dustborn. Maybe, possibly, probably not. I've been focusing on Legion Games 2076. That's my monetized channel, doing reaction to basically Eurovision for all of you Europeaners out there. Europeaners?
That sounds wrong.
Yeah, it does sound wrong. Literally, Eurovision 2025 kicked off today, and I'm behind the ball. So it started out as a gaming channel, turned into something else. Then I'm merging it a little bit back to a gaming channel. I do not play Dustborn there because that game sucks and it's not a fun game. It's not lighthearted and it's full of politics. So Legion Games 2076 is a fun channel. So go subscribe there. If you want to see me play Dustborn, go to Legion Talk, where I'm going to play that and maybe put a gun barrel in my mouth. No, I'm kidding. No, and then of course, what the hell? Thursday is actually Thursday Night SmackDown, where I do a reaction to on Legion Talk, watching old episodes of the WWF Attitude Era, because that's when I started watching wrestling. It's what made me love wrestling. It's for the reason that I actually moved to Florida and went to WWE NXT for a while. And then Friday, I gotta start the Thing remastered. I have to. I gotta do it.
I know you've been talking about that.
No, I know. I've wanted to play it for the last literally like 3.5 months. I'm not joking. I've got to play the game.
About it.
The thing is, though, is that literally
the thing about it.
time,
aha! I see what you did there. Unintentional.
That really was not intentional. I got to play the Thing. Then again, so Thursdays, freak. Saturdays, I usually take the day off. And then, of course, Sundays is Speed Cam Sunday because Top Gear. And then Monday is Mayday Disaster Monday. It's a history channel kind of thing. Legion teaches history. It's a National Geographic thing. Yeah, it's National Geographic where they go over old historical air disasters. Tuesdays is my favorite day, Top Gun Tuesday. I did it tonight. It wasn't my favorite tonight. I got my ass kicked by the game 78,000 times. And then, of course, so then we kind of go full circles. Sorry. This Thursday, Horror with Nads. Nadia on Twitter. We're reviewing The Last of Us.
Oh, the show.
It's an excellent show.
I can tell your sincerity by your facial expressions.
And quite frankly, it's like it's more fun to make fun of it. But we legitimately talk about scenes of the episode, but it's more about making fun of it. So,
cool! I got to meet Nadia in person in Vegas as well.
She's a very, very nice person. Very nice person.
Yeah. So, has she? No, I don't think she has, but Chris came on for Party Chat, and I think he was on episode 4. He was very early on. But yeah, good peoples. So, and also while we were talking about games 2005, I got to mention Crazy Landlow was a big fan of Ultimate Spider-Man from 2005. Cool. So, and dude says, I know what it's like getting your ass handed to you on stream from one mission. Oh
my God, it was bad, dude.
He's been playing, like I mentioned, he's been playing Ninja Gaiden. He's been doing Ninja Gaiden Sigma on Master Ninja difficulty. And last I asked him about it, he was stuck on one fight for a while. So I don't know if he's made it past it yet, because he did an entire stream and wasn't able to get through this one fight. It is an optional one, but he does need it in order to get all the achievements. So
literally the mission I'm stuck on is that you have to find these tanker trucks. They're semis, right? That have oil in them. And you have to fly through a sandstorm, literally 500 to like 150 feet above the ground. And the sandstorm jams your radar. So like there's little blips like, oh, there's a blip. Oh, there's trucks. So you go this way. And there's a blip over here. They're like, oh, I got to go this way. And you have to pick the blip to try to find. And there's a time limit. A mission like this, please don't do a time limit or give me 15 minutes. No, the time limit is 6 minutes. You have 6 minutes to destroy. I've gotten this close to beating it twice. You have 6 minutes to destroy probably 25 trucks.
All right.
Yeah, it's awful. It's so awful. You can ask Ariel, and even Love It After, Love It Ever After, and they're like,
"Oh, it's a name I haven't seen in a while."
Yeah, it's not. It's bad.
So. Oh,
I think Ariel wants it bad.
Could be. Oh, and dude saying that he hasn't made it past that part mainly. Oh, that's right. He was having some OBS issues, so he just got those fixed. So maybe he'll get through that this week.
Yeah, I've been there. I think OBS is having a problem because I started my stream and I got a minute and a half into it and I had to stop it because like it crashed.
So, as for myself, nothing here tomorrow night because I am going and doing stuff IRL with family. And then Thursday night will be another episode of Open Mic with a new guest on the channel, Farsi, who is big in the my good friends over the Salty Nerd podcast, plugged in with them because of Helldivers. So we'll be talking for the first time. She reached out to me after I was in the Salty Nerd studio for Party Chat in Vegas. And I was like, hey, open mic is just for people to come on and talk video games with me. She reached out to me and said, hey, I'd like to be on. So I was like, all right, let's do it. So we'll be chatting about video games with Farsi on Thursday. As mentioned earlier, next Monday, the 19th, will be Mass Effect Monday. So if anyone wants to join me and play some Mass Effect 3 multiplayer with me, let me know. And we'll have some fun. And then next Tuesday will be the next episode of Top 5. And Jason and I just settled on the topic this earlier today. So we haven't talk to anyone if they want to join us, but we're going to be ranking our top 5 favorite handheld games. So Game Boy Color, Nintendo DS, Game Gear, those sort of things. Not Switch. Switch does not count. But everything before that,
I agree.
DS,
yeah, it doesn't
3DS. If you have one of those, I don't know what they're called, the little plastic ones that are just a single game, and they're like from the 90s. Like they call like Tiger made a bunch of them, and they're based on all these different.
Yeah, no, Tiger Games. Yeah, there's like a Jurassic Park.
There's
one,
all sorts
right?
of them. The one that I had when I was a kid was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
I don't know if that counts.
It's a handheld game. I don't think you would make anyone's list because those games were not really that great. But if you want to put it on your list, you could. So if anyone's interested in being on top 5 handheld games for next Tuesday, let me know. The invite is open. We have not asked anyone specifically yet, so we don't have anyone on the panel, but we'll be ranking our top 5 favorite handheld games. And then I'll be doing a solo open mic next Thursday, kind of just going over the summer and my plans and my schedule and stuff. So, but yeah, that will do it for tonight. So again, thanks Mo for coming on, Mo Zamboni. Links to his channel and Ryan's are in the stream descriptions as usual. But thanks for hanging out with us while we talk video games. Ryan, as always, great chatting with you and everyone in chat. Thanks for hanging out with us for over 2.5 hours. You all have a great night. We will see you next time. And as always, in the meantime, game on.
See ya.